Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Breakfast with Roger and Friends on this beautiful, and it is a beautiful Thursday morning, the 14th of May, and we have 44 degrees. We'll give you the weather coming up in detail. In the meantime, we say good morning, Dr. Gene Sidler. Good to see you this morning.
Good morning, Roger.
And also, once again, exclusive we have here, a former ambassador to China, on behalf of Caterpillar, Mike Dentino.
Good morning, Roger.
Your wife went with you as well, did she not?
Well, she kind of had to go. She was the one working for Caterpillar.
Oh, you weren't the one. I thought you were.
Oh no. I was just the tag along spouse.
Oh, I see.
I'm arm candy.
Oh.
What, did you have children with you there as well?
Yeah, we had all three of the kids there with us. It was
quite an experience for them. Yeah.
Really, it was. I found it to be a fascinating 5 years of our lives. I mean,
5 years.
Yeah, 5 years.
I want to quickly say Terry Grawey is here as well. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning.
Go ahead with your 5-year tenure.
Oh,
you didn't have to interrupt him for that. It was.
I didn't want you sitting there.
No, I was
picking your nose.
No, I was patiently waiting.
Oh no! It's
5 years. Did they spy on you?
Oh yeah.
What?
Well, yeah. Tell him Terry doesn't. He lives a sheltered life.
Yeah, I don't.
He doesn't realize.
I've been to
when you go to China,
Morton,
they spy. They don't care who you are.
Yeah, well, when you're eating dinner and they tell you, I don't think, you hear something coming from the ceiling. It says, I don't think that mayonnaise looks good anymore.
Really?
That sounds more Italian than it did.
Well, yeah.
Chinese.
Marco Polo was Italian. He spent a lot of time in China.
Marco Polo did?
Yeah.
That's because he got lost, wasn't it?
Well, I think he was looking for some dim sum.
He was looking for Ponce de Leon.
What city? Where in?
We were outside Beijing in a city called Shunyi.
I'm sorry?
Shunyi.
Okay. Yeah.
But, it was a second-tier city. It was only about 1 million in Shunyi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Only 1 million?
Yeah.
How many employees does CAT have over there?
Oh, God, they had.
I mean, not Chinese employees.
But, I mean, with the expats, I want to say they probably had, well, I can think of like 20 or 30 right off the top of my head.
Oh, I
Did
thought
you
it'd be
all
more
live
than
in the same
Well, there may be
concentration?
more, but they were spread around. You had the administrative offices were in Beijing, and that's where my wife worked. But then they had
What the hell did you do all day?
He was Mr. Mom.
Yeah,
I was Mr. Mom.
Okay.
I taught law school for a couple of semesters there.
Did
Over
you
there?
really?
Yeah.
Did you pick up some Chinese, apparently?
They don't have a
Can
court
you speak
system
a
like
little?
we do.
No, they do.
What do the lawyers do there?
Well, it's interesting because they have what they believe is a working court system, except that it really all depends on guanxi, which is influence. If your backers are more important than the other guy's backers, you win.
Well,
But
a little bit like here.
yeah. But here's the problem, though. You can win a lot. And true story. A friend of mine, a guy that I met there in China, brought the Subway franchise to China, and he was making money hand over fist.
Over fish or over fish?
Over fish too.
Okay.
But you have to, at the time, you absolutely. Well, I think it's probably still relatively true. You have to have a Chinese partner to open most businesses, and he eventually, when the Chinese guy figured out, hey, Chinese people like sub sandwiches, he squeezed him out, and he found himself locked out of his own business one day.
Really?
He sued. And through, he's kind of amazed himself. He won.
He did win
Yeah.
over the over the Chinaman.
Yeah, but the problem is because everything at one time was owned by the Chinese government, and their laws kind of haven't caught up. There are no attachment or replevin laws. So you can get a judgment. There's just no way to enforce it.
They have judges and juries?
Oh, yeah. Well, they don't have juries, but they have judges. He said, I don't think they have juries.
All right. I didn't know they had
But-
stuff like that.
Oh, they have like
So they had firing squads.
they have a working personal injury system and all.
Really?
It's just that it's really bizarre.
Well, I would imagine, yeah.
Yeah. But could you see the listening device, or you just suspected the
I-
device?
Found a couple listening devices.
Did you?
I had one of my friends there when they remodeled his bathroom. They found coaxial cable ends behind the mirrors in the bathroom,
Oh my goodness.
where someone had removed the cameras shortly after they removed the mirrors.
Oh, my.
But I got a call at 10 o'clock at night from someone at the security office in our compound telling me that there was an alarm going off in my basement. It was a battery-operated smoke alarm.
Really?
You said
Wasn't attached to
your
anything.
compound, was it kind of like the equivalent of the villages?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Florida?
We lived in a compound called Yosemite. And, yeah.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah. Well, there were about a half a dozen, compounds in Chunyi where we lived, and for the most part, they were expats. They preferred the expats to kind of live there because it was easier to keep an eye on us.
Well, sure.
And but it was all expats and then high-end Chinese, because they didn't want to live around the Chinese and the hutongs. Well, the neighborhoods were called hutongs.
Okay.
Now, for tech support, you don't get phone calls when you live over there. They just knock on your door.
No,
So
they just walk in.
You just have a message pops up. Don't worry, it's fixed.
All right. Well, we're going to talk about the president's visit to China and other things, all China, and a few other things. Of course, the ongoing dilemma of the loss of the St. Jude affiliate in Peoria, Illinois, unfortunately. We'll give you the details as we know them, as that is a story that continues and a story that has legs. In the meantime, let's get into the news. And we start with a check of the weather, and the weather this morning is brought to you by Heinz Roofing. You know, they've been repairing and replacing roofs in central Illinois for over 33 years, and you can get a no-obligation inspection of your roof simply by calling Heinz Roofing at 309-672-0910. That's 672-0910. Quality work by quality people. Let's have the weather.
Sunny and sunny and pleasant today, Roger. High 74. A little chilly right now.
Yes, it is chilly.
I came out this morning. It's like,
This is
Frost on the
May.
pumpkin there.
a little nippy.
Yeah, frost on the pumpkin.
Little increasing cloudiness tonight with showers after midnight, low 55. Tomorrow, showers and thunderstorms with gradual clearing and a high of 79. More showers late tomorrow night. Showers and thunderstorms on Saturday, high 85. Partly sunny on Sunday for chance for afternoon rain. So it looks like it's going to be wet for a couple of days. High 85 on Sunday right now. It's just 44 degrees at the Wazoo.
You got a Spoon River Home Health bringing you the news. They've been providing quality care for people in their Central Illinois homes for over 30 years now. They're professional and compassionate staff of nurses, therapists, and home care assistants available to care for your loved ones safely and comfortably. And you can reach Spoon River for more information at 309-245-0723. Now the news with Mike and Terry.
Thank you, Roger. Community criticism of OSF healthcare continues after they announced the termination of the St. Jude Clinic, effective at the end of the month. Sources report the decision came with little advance notice, especially to the St. Jude families undergoing treatment in Peoria. OSF allegedly violated their contract with St. Jude and could face litigation from St. Jude officials in Memphis.
WEKTV incorrectly reported the St. Jude Clinic would be working independently. However, there will not be a Peoria clinic since its staff of doctors and nurses are employees of OSF. This news is discomforting as the St. Jude Clinic, the first affiliate of the Memphis Hospital, has been a part of Peoria for over 50 years. Reportedly, the termination of the St. Jude Medical Facility was made for financial reasons, but that is yet to be confirmed.
Prior to the opening of the St. Jude Midwest affiliate in 1972 at Methodist Hospital, pediatrician Dr. Robert Hart was sending children stricken with cancer to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee. Newly diagnosed children in Central Illinois may once again opt to go to the Memphis facility through OSF, though OSF officials stated they would continue to provide cancer care. The question is, will that care be free at OSF as it has been since the founding by entertainer Danny Thomas and repeated locally by Mayor Jim Maloof and Mike McCoy?
Speaking of Mike McCoy, he informs us that the fundraiser to support the work of St. Jude continues. He'll be driving this morning as the local Corvette Club holds its annual drive to Memphis. Leaving from Uptring's dealership in Washington, once in Memphis, drivers will visit the St. Jude Hospital to have dinner and hand over a huge check to the medical staff to ensure care and treatment is always free for children battling cancer. We'll talk with Mike about 7:30 this morning as we wish him and all the Corvette drivers a safe trip to Memphis.
Did either one of you ever own a Corvette?
Nope.
No? I'm surprised. All three of you are kind of connoisseurs of high-end vehicles. Never had a Corvette.
I have had several,
Okay,
3 of them.
3.
Well, see, there you go.
Yeah.
All 3 of them were 1967 Corvettes. One of them was 427 with the side
Nice.
pipes. Yeah.
Wow.
Couple
Nice.
of 327s.
It's a nice ride, Doc. It's a nice
I'm a connoisseur of old collectible muscle cars, so I've had a few.
My son had one for a while. He used to go to Corvette shows and so forth. I got in one of them, in the one that he had, and the fire department had to come to get me out. When you sit in a Corvette, you sit like you're almost on the pavement.
Wait a minute. How long ago was this?
1938. No, I don't know how. I don't even know what I had for breakfast
Was
this
it a
morning.
Packard Corvette?
Don't you sit low to the ground in a Corvette?
You
Your butt's
do,
almost on
but
the
it's
pen of the
it's not like there are cars that are a lot harder to get in and
Oh,
out of
yeah.
than a Corvette.
I
Yeah.
don't disagree.
Well,
with
like
that,
a-
yeah.
I know you're
Miata,
exaggerating
a
slightly,
Lotus.
but yeah, they're fun. They're just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Now
They-
you wave to people, don't you? That's a
what?
thing when you're a vet. When you drive a Corvette, it's a thing like the Harley guys do. You wave to other Corvette people.
Oh, to other Corvette people.
I think it's
Yeah.
in their manual, isn't it? Doesn't it say?
I never did that.
Page
I
6.
don't know.
Oh, you were the guy that never did that?
Yeah, I was the guy.
Well, that's not a new phenomenon. Now, I wave at a lot of the drivers. Depends on who they are.
Depending on what she
If
looks
they're
like.
pretty
I
girls.
get it.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. Hey, hi, honey.
No, but I believe it's in the manual.
I've never heard that, but
I've never heard that.
makes sense. I
Do you
guess.
think it's a part of the code?
I think it's
The culture?
Yeah,
of,
it's a little code.
I know this. People who own Corvettes are very proud of their Corvettes, and I'm sure you were.
Well, yeah, I liked it.
Did you
they
polish
were
it?
easy to work on. That was the
Yeah.
nice thing
It
about
was.
Yeah, I owned them in the 90s and early 2000s, and again, they were 1967 variety, so they were already quite old, and you had things you had to do on them, and maintenance, so forth. They were just easy to work on, and they were fun, and yeah.
Were they red? Were they red?
None of them were red, no.
Oh, well,
White,
see, that's
blue, and
almost
brown.
illegal. Aren't
Good
sports
wood
cars supposed to
green.
be red?
I know this. That's my favorite. My Cadillac is red. My 2014
What color were they? Because they're supposed to be red.
Corvette. I think
had
he
a
had.
white
I think
one, a
he had a
green one,
red
and
one.
a blue one.
Okay.
The thing about, and we were interrupting our late breaking newscast, but
That's right.
at any rate, I harken back. I was never great on repairing cars or so forth, but I did learn to change plugs. And years ago, you could get to them. I don't even know where they are now.
You have to disassemble a good
The
part of
engine.
the engine to get
To
to
get
it.
Yeah.
Didn't all of you take the plugs out and clean them and put them back
Yeah.
in?
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
But I got rid of plugs and I just bought a diesel.
And Corvettes were pretty quick from a standing position.
Yeah, that's fair to say.
But
Kind
the
of the whole
electric,
purpose.
but the electric cars now blow everybody away.
Wow.
A guy gave me a ride in his electric truck, and he said, "Brace yourself and lean back." And when he hit it, I mean, we took off like we were at Cape Canaveral. I mean, those things are quick. Anyway, more news.
Talk about cars.
Yeah.
2 of them collided at the busy intersection of University and Glen yesterday morning around 10. One of the drivers couldn't get out of her vehicle and had to be freed by Peoria firefighters. She went to a local hospital. No word on her condition. Newly appointed Police Chief Brad Dixon told our listeners and viewers Tuesday morning that he's going to focus on drivers who ignore city speed limits. Dixon takes office tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m.
Yeah.
Congratulations to the Peoria City Council. They approved another place to sell booze. The vote was close. It was 6-5 in favor of a liquor license for the King Zone Grocery, located at 2411 North Knoxville. The children's home is at 2130 North Knoxville. Supporters for King said the owner could not make a profit without making the firewater available for consumers.
You know, I was thinking about that story as I wrote it. I can see a grocery store saying, applying for a license for prostitutes and saying, I can't make it unless I'm able to have prostitution in my
wait a
store.
minute.
Well, that's not a bad idea. Now wait, Doc, let's go with this. It's not a bad
Clear
idea.
this
I
up
mean,
here.
there's
Prostitution's
lots there.
illegal. Alcohol's not.
Not
What-
everywhere. Prostitution is not illegal everywhere.
In Illinois,
well,
in
maybe.
Peoria,
Okay.
it's
It's a
illegal.
long walk to me.
So how does that compare with selling alcohol?
Well,
Perfectly
because I think
legal
it's
business.
I think it's funny. I don't give a damn whether they can or they can't. What I'm trying to do is make
I just wanted
light
to clear up
of
the-
the idea. Well, I'm trying to make
Does the
fun of
council
the idea that you
make
can't
decisions on prostitution for
No,
every
they
business?
wouldn't need a
Well, you don't.
self-checkout.
Yes, they did. Back in the days of E.N. Woodruff, it was legal in Peoria, Illinois, and the health department used to give exams, medical exams to the prostitutes.
Well, that's what they called it.
That's what
Another hot spot in Peoria. Moving right along here.
Hey, this is Dr. Dentino.
Yes, before we get our license pulled, another hot spot in Peoria, not that this story's any better, Big Al's is apparently getting ready to reopen. The strip club had been closed to the delight of many and to the disappointment of some since August of 2024. It's been the site of shootings in 2023 and
that's
24. The new owner says he wants to expand operations to include not only strippers, but entertainers, musicians, and concerts.
And hypnotists.
And there we go.
not going to happen.
But they'll have to close each night at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
The guy that's going to run that runs a couple other places in
Yes,
town.
he does, yeah.
And one of them's real successful. That, it's the one that's behind Kinney's West Side. What's the name of it? Saddle Up, I think, is the name of it. I guess that's a real. No, Roger, that's different. than this.
Behind Kenny's, it's just that alley. Are you
Yeah.
talking about
Go in on that
down
alley,
that alley?
and there's a bar back there. It's got a late night
Well, I
license.
guess I'm pleased to say I've never been there.
I've never been there.
How about Big Al's?
But
No, I've never
but
been
he
to Big
packs
Al
them in
either.
down.
I won't take a poll of the staff this
Well,
morning.
I mean, I used to catch the bus in front of Big Al's the entire time I went to Spalding. Yeah.
On Main Street?
Yeah.
Well, you know, it gained national attention. I can't remember why, but
I can imagine.
and it was very successful. I had a business friend who kept urging me to join him for lunch at Big Al's, but
Well, they had lunch.
Yeah,
Wasn't it
sure.
on Main Street
yeah, right
for a long
next to the
time?
Paramarket Hotel.
Yeah,
Because
right by the alley.
when the visiting teams would come into town to play
Oh, yeah.
basketball at the arena against Bradley, that was one of the perks. is
They
that
dribbled on over to
they
Big
were
Al's.
Yeah.
right
Right.
next to Big Al's. Yeah.
Yeah, I
They
had a
were- they
couple
were-
cousins who were bouncers there for a while.
And which they needed. You know, when we would leave church Sunday, our church is just a couple of blocks away, and we ate at the Paramount Hotel. They had a cafeteria. You remember what was it called? The American Cafeteria, I think.
Cafe.
And the food was wonderful. When we walked past Big Al's to get there, I had to be careful where my head was turned. My wife would be on me like a skin.
Pictures.
Because they had pictures
Yeah,
there.
they did. Yeah. They weren't
That's when I
nude.
first recognized you.
They weren't. They weren't nude.
No.
but
No, they
almost.
Yeah.
It was the Casano boys that had that. Ray
That's
Ray
right,
Casano,
Ray
his brother.
And he had the big limo service too,
They had
did he
limo
not?
service, and then Ray, I think it was Ray, one of them, moved to, I guess, Florida. He got into the L. Ron Hubbard movement, and he wanted to be
a religious conversion.
he wanted to be closer to L. Ron, so he sold that to Al Zuccarini. He sold Big Al's to Al Zuccarini, who used to run the place in. It's called the Creve Coeur Ballet. What's the
Creve Coeur Ballet?
Well, the strip joint over there.
Over in
Yeah.
Creve Coeur.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, what was the name of that?
Club Cabaret.
Don't look
That's
at me.
what it was. Well, you live on that side of the river.
Well,
but
that may
quite
be
a distance away. Yeah. Any other news? We wrap it
Not
up
this
with
exciting.
a story about.
Oh,
Well, in other news, the Chinese rolled out the red carpet for President Donald Trump and a large contingent from the United States. Trump and President Xi Jinping have a lot to talk about, from the war with Iran to trade tariffs, Taiwan, and artificial intelligence. High on the agenda is the Strait of Hormuz, which is now considered closed to all shipping.
a goof in protocol at a hospital in the Netherlands has resulted in the quarantine of 12 hospital staff members. It all happened with the arrival of one of the passengers of that cruise ship who was diagnosed with the hantavirus. Blood and urine from the infected patient was not properly disposed. A Dutch official said that despite the chance of infection, or in spite of the chance of infection being small, that the 12 employees will go into preventative quarantine for 6 weeks as a precaution.
Well, that's
Wow.
over a month.
3 people have died after contacting the virus.
Doctor, 6 weeks. I mean, usually you get over a fever and you're only contagious for what, 4 or 5 days or something? What's 6 weeks? My
Yeah,
God.
well,
Hantavirus has a long incubation period, meaning that
Wow.
it can sit in a latent or dormant state in the body for up to 6 weeks before producing.
And you can still catch that like 5 weeks later? And
well, it's in
wow.
your system for that time, and then it can emerge and cause the disease.
is that that's pretty long, or no?
That's a
normal?
very long incubation
okay.
period. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
seems
Wow.
to be.
Wow, that's scary.
All right, well, let's
that's
continue
it for
with
the news.
the news to our friends at WCB.
From the WCBU newsroom, I'm Ben Howell. A lead fundraiser for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital says his group will continue raising funds for St. Jude after its split with OSF Healthcare. Mike McCoy, co-founder of St. Jude Runs, says the change could impact medical decisions, but that does not mean care disappears in central Illinois.
And a lot of hospitals have affiliate relationships with St. Jude. And because there won't be one in Peoria, it doesn't mean that there's not places where people can get treated close by.
OSF's Children's Hospital will no longer be an affiliate of St. Jude Children's Research Hospital starting in July. Congressman Darren LaHood said he favors an approach to dealing with the looming Social Security insolvency that could take at least some of the political gamesmanship out of the difficult issue.
That would be bipartisan, small group of Senate and House members that would meet for 1 year and come up with significant proposals that we would vote up or down on.
Up or down votes make it more difficult for other lawmakers to water down proposals, and they concentrate all the political pain of cuts into a small number of votes. An East Bluff convenience and grocery store is one step closer to being able to sell packaged liquor, but whether or not the business receives a license remains to be seen. The Peoria City Council approved in a 6-5 vote the site application for the King Zone Market on Knoxville Avenue. Alex Carmona has been the biggest advocate for the business.
This will never be a liquor store, not even close. The footprint of the actual liquor is probably 10% of the store.
Mayor Rita Ali will make the ultimate determination in her role as liquor commissioner. Ali was among those voting against approval. Advocates for safer streets are pushing state lawmakers for more bike and trail infrastructure. One measure they support would allow repeat offenders who are caught going 26 miles per hour over the limit to avoid having their license suspended if they have a device installed on their vehicles that prevents them from speeding. Republican State Representative Jennifer Sonalitro of Itasca voted against the plan.
I think I thought the FOP was against it, but I also feel like people are going to speed, they're going to speed. The only time I believe that you should have a device in your car is if you're a drunk driver.
The measure has passed the House. I'm Ben Howell.
All right, let's move into the world of sports. That's the game for you brought to you by Rogerfans.com.
all about Bradley basketball and other sports. And some good news is that the director of athletics at Bradley, Dr. Chris Reynolds, was given a national award this week for excellence in his profession. It's called the 2026 Division I Athletic Director Association Builders Award, and it recognizes excellence in what he does. And so we're very lucky to have a terrific athletic director, and he is recognized nationally. He was named the Athletic Director of the Year a few years ago at Bradley, and that, again, is a very distinct honor that only a few people in the country get. Yeah.
Well, good for him.
So, yeah, good for him. And
we haven't had him on for a long time. We need to try to get hold of Chris.
We'll try to get him on. Anyway, sports. Yesterday, the Cubs played and lost again to the Atlanta Braves 4-1. So after that 10-game winning streak, the Cubs have now lost 4 in a row, and their bats have gone relatively quiet. In the 4-game losing streak, they've scored a combined total of only 3 runs, and they're averaging 3 hits per game in that 4-game stretch. So let's see if they can wake up here soon. They play again against the Atlanta Braves tonight at 6:15 on in Atlanta. And then they come to Chicago on the south side and have a series starting Friday night against the White Sox. The St. Louis Cardinals lost in a late game last night to the Sacramento A's 6-2. The Cardinals play the A's again today in an afternoon game, 2:05 p.m., and then they have a series at home against the Kansas City Royals. And the Chicago White Sox won. They beat the Kansas City Royals last night 6-5. That's the Sox 4th win in a row. They're now 21-21. They've reached the 500 mark on the season, playing much better than they have the last couple of years. They'll play the Royals again tonight to finish that series, 6:40 p.m., and then they'll host the Cubs in that 3-game series starting tomorrow night. Peoria Chiefs lost to the Beloit Skycarp 6-4. They'll play again tonight at 6:05. In the NBA, the playoffs, the Cleveland Cavaliers beat the Detroit Pistons 117-113. That's Game 5 of the East Conference semifinal series. Cleveland takes the 3-2 lead. And in the NHL, the Colorado Avalanche came back from being down 3-0 to beat the Minnesota Wild 4-3 in overtime in Game 5 of that series in the Western Conference semifinals. And that wraps it up for Colorado. They win the series 4-1. They advance to the West Conference final series against either the Las Vegas Golden Knights or the Anaheim Ducks. And in that series, Las Vegas leads 3-2. Game 6 is tonight. Golf news. The first major tournament of 2026, the 108th PGA Championship, teed off this morning at 5:45 our time. So they've already started the first round this morning at the Aronimink Golf Club in Newtown Square, Pennsylvania. That's just outside Philadelphia. Last year's winner, Scotty Scheffler, is the favorite this year at about 5-1 odds, and just ahead of Rory McIlroy, who is at 8-1 odds. The 151st Preakness is Saturday at Laurel Park, Maryland. Laurel Park is hosting the Preakness for the first time. The previous 150 races were all run at Pimlico Racecourse.
That's what I think. Yeah, that racetrack sounds unfamiliar.
Yes, it's because the Pimlico track is closed for yet another year. It's been working on it since they ran last year's race, and they need another year to finish the complete renovations of the arena and seating areas and everything at the race course. So it'll reopen next year for the 152nd Preakness in 2027. Kentucky Derby winner Golden Tempo is not racing. 14 horses in the race. The favorites are Iron Honor at 9-2, and then you have 3 horses, Taj Mahal, Chip Hancho, and Incredibolt at 5-1, Ocelli at 6-1, and then a few long shots. Should be an interesting race. Last week we mentioned it, and at that time there was only one horse, Iron Honor, that was 5-1, and all the rest were 19, 20-1 and higher. But the betting has changed that, and now there's quite a few in that lower odds range. So maybe should be an interesting race. We shall see Saturday, and it'll be on NBC, and the race somewhere around 6 p.m. and coverage on NBC always starts earlier and covers some of the preliminary races. So that's it for sports. Roger?
Yeah. When was the last time we had a Triple Crown winner? And
2018.
And who was it?
I'd have to look that up.
The secretary.
Yeah,
No, that was
because it's kind of hard to have a
50 years.
Triple Crown winner now, because like the winner of the Kentucky Derby is not running in the Preakness, and I assume not in the Belmont. Is each race of the Triple Crown? They're not the same distances, are they?
No, each one is a little bit longer than the last one. The Kentucky is 10 furlongs. That's a mile and a quarter. The Preakness, I think, is a mile and 3/8. That's 11 furlongs. And then the Belmont is a mile and a half. I think, just a little bit longer.
So there's not a great deal of distance. It's not like a 1 mile versus a
No,
5
it's not
mile.
like a steeplechase or something.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
but for thoroughbreds, that can be a big difference. These horses might be really good for that first mile and a quarter, but then fade in that last furlong or two.
I know you and your wife went to the Kentucky Derby. Did the two of you go to the Preakness or the Belmont?
Have not been to
No?
the Preakness or the Belmont. No, I would like to go. I would enjoy that.
You know, years and years ago, the Peoria Stadium used to be the site of horse racing, I am told.
And auto
I was
racing.
not around when it happened, I don't think, but
Auto and motorcycle racing too, back in the
did not know
20s and 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they still do the big motorcycle race in Peoria County?
Yeah, out in
They still do,
Cameron
because
Lane.
that
Yeah.
used to be a big deal in Peoria. Cyclists from all over the
Well,
country.
it still is. I
would,
mean, the Turf
come
Trophy.
down.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Turf Trophy race is still a big race. It's,
It is.
it has
When is that
national
held?
implication. August, I believe.
Late summer. I knew.
Yeah.
That, yeah.
Have you been to either
Yeah.
one of you?
Yeah.
Been to the race? I've
It's-
never.
it's a
You
good
have,
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's noisy. But
Well,
one
that's
year, and that's just downtown. What was there used to be a champion. He was just a young kid, 17, 18 years old. Remember his name?
There was Jay Springsteen. There was,
His brother Bruce.
yes, brother Bruce. Yeah, Bruce never did like motorcycles.
Yeah, no. I never liked Bruce.
Yeah.
So, hey, let's do the headlines.
Roger, can I
And
just
we're
throw
gonna
in-
pick- We're going to pick winner of the Preakness.
We should do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got a call
we've
from
got
Jody Hoos.
got
and
a
she
head
said,
start.
as long as you stay around the $2 mark, you're okay.
Justify, Bob Bavard horse won in 2018 the Triple Crown. That was the last.
What was the name of it?
Justify. Speaking of events in Peoria area, did you see that the Three Sisters summer camp thing got canceled?
Yes, yes.
Oh,
We did report
terrible
that,
tragedy.
and
Well, there are a lot of defense attorneys around Peoria
Well,
County that
that,
are
that cuts
not
down
gonna
some of
have
the
that summer bump in income.
yeah, who was the attorney that actually bought a billboard in Chillicothe?
His name was
Yeah.
Hurt.
and the speeding tickets. They will a lot of revenue for Chillicothe down the drain.
Yeah, well, hey,
And you know, tell you the truth, we're talking negatively, but it was an economic boost for the grocery store.
Big time.
Yeah.
They made some money.
So I'm sure they're disappointed.
That was Jay Goldberg. Well, it was his kid.
Yeah.
Just Jay's kid, his son.
Yeah.
Came up with that idea, and Dad said, "Well, it's your idea. You run with it."
Yeah.
He
And-
made
and they
a
did.
lot of money on
really?
those.
Well, it was a big event. It's too bad. I think the bottom line was the lack of security.
Well, they
Was
said that
one of the
and
reasons
medical.
Yeah.
And-
The city wasn't happy with they didn't have enough medical staff on site, I guess, or they hadn't planned for it or something.
And most of that was due to overheating.
Well, overindulging for sure.
Yeah.
But not food.
Yeah,
Different substance.
It was over something. He's with Gordon, Stockland, and Wall. Matt is experienced in federal and state tax compliance, employee benefits, estate, and trust tax planning. All things financial you can check out with Matt Wall. 309-692-4030. That's 692-4030. And Mike Dentino has the headlines.
Thank you, Roger. So, community criticism of OSF healthcare continues after they announced the termination of St. Jude Clinic, effective at the end of the month. Sources report the decision came with little advance notice, especially to the St. Jude families receiving treatment in Peoria. OSF allegedly violated their contract with St. Jude and could face litigation. A local TV station incorrectly reported that the St. Jude Clinic would be working independently. However, there will not be a Peoria clinic since its staff of doctors and nurses are actually employees of OSF. This news is discomforting as the St. Jude Clinic, the first affiliate of the Memphis Hospital, has been a part of Peoria for over 50 years. Reportedly, the termination of St. Jude Medical Facility was made for financial reasons, but that has not been confirmed. Prior to the opening of St. Jude Midwest Affiliate in 1972 at Methodist Hospital, pediatrician Robert Hart was sending children stricken with cancer to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee. Newly diagnosed children in central Illinois may once again opt to go to Memphis through OSF, though OSF officials question, let me back up here.
Take two.
Yeah, take two. The question is, will that care be free of cost at OSF, as it had been since the founding by Danny Thomas and repeated locally by Mayor Jim Maloof and Mike McCoy? Speaking of Mike McCoy, he informs us that the fundraising to support the work of St. Jude continues. He'll be driving this morning with the local Corvette Club as it holds its annual drive to Memphis, leaving from Uftring's dealership in Washington. Once in Memphis, drivers will visit the St. Jude Hospital, and we'll talk with Mike a little bit later, 7:30 this morning. Talk about cars. Well, two of them collided at the intersection of University and Glen yesterday around 10. One of the drivers couldn't get out of her vehicle and had to be freed by Peoria firefighters. Newly appointed police chief Brad Dixon told our listeners Tuesday morning he's going to focus on drivers who ignore city speed limits. Dixon takes office tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. Peoria City Council approved another place to sell booze in the city. The vote was close, 6-5 in favor of a liquor license for the King Zone Grocery located at 2411 North Knoxville. The children's home is at 2130 North Knoxville. Supporters for King's said the owner could not make a profit without making liquor available for consumers. Another hot spot in Peoria, Big Al's, is getting ready to reopen. The strip club has been closed since August of 2024. It's been the site of shootings in 2023 and 24. The new owner says he wants to expand operations to include not only strippers, but entertainers and musicians for concerts. In other news, the Chinese rolled out the red carpet for President Donald Trump and a large contingent from the United States. Trump and President Xi Jinping have a lot to talk about the war with Iran, to trade, to tariffs, Taiwan, and artificial intelligence. High on the agenda is the Strait of Hormuz, which is now considered closed to all shipping. A mistaken protocol at a hospital in the Netherlands has resulted in the quarantine of 12 hospital staff members. It all happened with the arrival of one of the passengers from that cruise ship who was diagnosed with the hantavirus. Blood and urine from the infected patient was not properly disposed. A Dutch official said that despite the chance of infection being small, the 12 employees will go into preventative quarantine for 6 weeks as a precaution. 3 people have died after contracting the virus. Yeah.
They got it.
It just looked a little different for some reason.
They got it.
Yeah.
They got the virus.
Today is the last day of the Arts and Education program featuring students from 5 county schools. It ends on what they call Peace Day. Highlights is the performance of 250 student musicians gathered as a full orchestra in what will be a sensational celebration of the country's 250th anniversary. Students will be performing between 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the rear plazas of the Riverfront Museum and the Caterpillar Visitors Center. Plenty of free parking with lots of food vendors on hand. Congratulations to our own Dave Poles, who once again is chairman of the spectacular event.
Yeah.
And Roger, that's it for news at the bottom of the hour.
What a great job Dave has done. We farmed him out to another radio station this morning so that he can spread the word. Can you imagine 250 kids in an orchestra? And they're going to rehearse for the first time a couple hours before showtime at 11. I think that's remarkable.
You know, I tell you what, just 250 musicians gathered together to play all at once is pretty impressive. When you think about the age of these kids, that's even more impressive.
You know, I'm hoping they play the same song.
Well, I'm hoping they just have copies of the same song.
I'm not going to go down. I think I might hear it from my house.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you got it. All right, let's find out about the weather. Brought to you as a service of Morton Community Banks with over 50 branches across Illinois. And hometown banks, FDIC insured, so your deposits are safe and secure. Look for the clock tower, and you'll know they have time for you, and we have time for the weather.
Well, if you got planted, good for you, because rain tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday, and a chance on Sunday. 74 today, 79 tomorrow, 85 on Saturday and Sunday. Right now, it's 44 at the Wazoo.
Yeah, and I don't know why, but it just seems colder than, to me, than 44 degrees. I don't know, maybe we could ask Kyle a little bit about that.
A lot of humidity.
Yeah, well, that sounds good to me. Are we going to, let's finalize the selection of the horses for the Preakness. You've already taken what, Dr.
I picked Incredibolt, and Mike Dentino here has picked Napoleon Solo.
Oh, you took Incredibolt.
I did.
Okay, all right.
Unless somebody else wants it.
No, I wrote it down and then crossed it out, and I took Osella.
Osella, a good choice.
Osella.
Good choice.
Okay, well, I don't know, it would be a good choice if
Ran
he
a good
wins.
race at the Kentucky Derby.
He did?
Yes.
Okay,
I
then
think
I'll
finished
put that.
third. I think.
Mike Dentino, who are you picking?
Napoleon Solo.
Napoleon Solo. That's Mike at 8 to
So
1.
we have the Terrys
Incredible.
Iron.
Which one did you take?
Iron Honor.
Ironsides?
No, Iron
Honor.
9-2.
At this point, the best
You
odds.
said he was a favorite. And I circled that before you. Before
But
you
that
said
can change, and
Oh,
it
yeah.
probably will. Before
Well, he's about the middle.
Renegade was the top favorite for the Kentucky Derby, but by the time post time, I think had fallen to third or fourth in terms of betting odds. So that changes based on how the money flows in.
Yeah.
You know, I was torn. Between Ocello. I took Ocelli.
Ocelli. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, what is that? What,
But,
I've never, is that a name? Is that a?
I
I don't know where the name
It's
comes
a virus.
It's a virus.
Yeah.
But I was torn.
in Latin, it means little eye.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I have no
Who are
idea.
you torn between, Roger?
The hell we did.
You couldn't
At
just like the
15 to
name.
1.
You just like the name.
You know, it
right.
kind of captures my
hell we
feeling in the morning after the show. 15 to 1 is what threw me. Decided. However, $2 at 15 to 1.
Hey, that's a McDonald's Happy Meal.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You need more money than that for McDonald's. You know, there's nothing happy about the McDonald's Happy Meal.
No, there's not.
When the price comes. I still maintain dollar for dollar. The best buy for children's meal is Culver's. You get a good size. You get a good size cheeseburger if you want that, or chicken nuggets, and French fries and a drink, and tear off the tab. And you can get a free cup of their custard.
Oh, really?
That's the deal.
They have toasted cheese there, too, or grilled cheese. Because I take my grandson, that's all he'll eat. And,
Good for him.
toasted
That's what
cheese.
I used to love bologna sandwiches and tomato soup, or grilled cheese sandwiches
Grilled cheese,
with
That's
tomato soup.
Yeah.
That was the all-American
That was
lunch.
Yep.
Was it not?
Did you eat any fried bologna, or it was always just?
Well, I tried that once. Not bad. Not bad.
I ate a lot of fried bologna
You did?
sandwiches. Yeah,
Oh,
as a kid, that was my favorite.
Oh.
Not
Try
any-
it sometime.
Well,
I had it when I was a kid.
Completely different taste.
all
Really,
right.
very good.
How about
Oh,
spam?
God.
Did your family ever eat spam?
No.
Oh, I liked Spam. I
did
still
too.
like Spam.
I did.
I've never
You know,
had it.
I haven't had a Spam sandwich in in years. I get it on the internet every now and then.
I never.
No, on my cell phone. I get it on the cell phone. Why is it some people get a lot of spam messages? I get very few, but I've talked to people that phone
You
rings
probably never
constantly.
answered them. I answered them and used to fight with them and yell at them, and I think you get on a list then, and
Yes,
then
it's
because
an
I get 10 a
algorithm.
day.
Yeah.
There's computers that track who
Who answers?
Who's,
Who's dumb
who are
enough
the
to
people
answer?
that it's most beneficial to send spam to, and you get on a list, as Terry
on the
says, you'll
list.
get more and
You're
more
on
of
the
it.
Yeah.
list,
I get 10 a day.
Yeah, you know, you're known as a big ham, so apparently you're a big spam
Yeah,
as
big
well.
spam
Do
guy,
you
yeah.
do you when you get a spam call and doesn't your phone light up orange when it says possible
It
spam?
depends on what version of Android you have on your phone. No, mine doesn't, but I'm sure
Well,
some
mine
do.
lights up
If you get
orange,
that,
you know,
yeah.
right away.
It's
Really?
probably an app that does that, and I don't have the same
Your
app.
phone's color coded?
Yes,
Color
oh, yeah,
code?
yeah.
Mine will say
yeah.
suspected.
Yeah,
Yeah. Mine's
Yeah.
but
spam,
doesn't it turn orange?
No. No.
Oh,
it's
Yeah,
just
mine's
black
getting
and white.
better now. It's like you actually stopping some of my spam calls and making them announce who they are and what the hell they want.
Yeah, I've got that on there too.
Yeah.
It'll say, you know.
Yeah, you can probably set those settings in your phone app.
Couldn't you at one time? I thought one time you could call a number, a national number.
the do
and
not-
Do not call? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
but that
That
went
doesn't
down,
work.
That
Yeah,
doesn't
that went
work.
down the
That's-
toilet very
no,
quickly.
that
You
That's-
can't out spam
The-
spammers.
Yeah, the difference with that is that's actually a federal law. And as we all know, federal laws have about the effect of a tissue paper in a hurricane.
I have to tell you a funny story. We were in the car one day, my dear friend, and who is an entertainer, and got a call that said possible spam, and she said, decided to be cute and answered with a heavy accent, and it actually was quite funny to kind of throw the spammer off. Well, it turned out to be a minister who wanted to book
Oh
her.
my.
Oh, jeez.
Oops.
Never mind.
So, when there are times when you think you're going to be clever and
Yeah.
cute,
When I know it's a spam, sometimes I'll answer, "There's blood everywhere. Send me my money." And they just hang.
and it turned out to be Jody Hoos, Peoria County State's attorney. I've done some heavy breathing on the phone, but if typically I don't answer. If I answer, if you don't hear a voice right away, I
Your
hang
little
up.
click.
Because is it true it's a robo
Yeah.
Yeah.
type of situation?
The calls are placed by a computer, but if you answer, it will go to some live guy sitting in a boiler room somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's why the delay. You have to wait till somebody gets the signal to pick up, and then.
It
then
must
they-
work
Yeah,
for
these-
these guys. Yeah, I get it. It must be working because they do it all day long, every day.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
You know,
don't-
interesting.
don't you know somebody that's been scammed?
Yeah, I know.
Unfortunately, I've known people who have
Really?
been scammed by those kind of callers. Yes.
Yeah.
I've been getting stuff from my bank. I won't say what bank, but it's got their name on it. I've received like 5 of them in the past, say, 2-3 weeks, because I dealt with some property, and so there was some public stuff that went on. And these guys are sending me this stuff, trying to sell me something or try to get some information out of it. But it's got my bank's name stamped on it and everything,
Wow.
and it's all
Yeah.
phony stuff.
That's pretty legitimate. I know this. I know that if you do a search for a product that you're thinking about buying, the next thing you know, on your computer,
On your
you
social
get
media.
ads
Oh, yeah.
for it. And I won't tell you what I was looking for, but I now have a year's past a big house.
Well, I mean,
like-
yeah, I mean, you almost just need to think about it, and all of a sudden your social media feed starts filling up with, all manner of medications and supplements, or Hawaii vacation condo rental offers. It's
nuts.
It is nuts.
Of all the ads that we've had on television, radio, and I don't know whatever, the one that still hangs around, and I don't understand why, because it's been, they've had ads about them for decades now, is are you having a hard time getting rid of your timeshare ownership?
Yeah.
And I thought that had been taken care of. But apparently people still can't get
the back
rid of
taxes thing, the tax relief kind of stuff.
Oh, the IRS, yeah.
Are there that many people that?
If you owe the IRS more than $50,000, give us a call.
Yes, that they can get you out of it, and then like you say, there's the condo timeshare people. I didn't know there were that many people desperate to unload timeshares, but apparently there are.
6:51 is our time. 44 degrees, sunny and pleasant today, with a high of 74. Now our pet tip of the day.
Today's pet tip is brought to you by Peoria Pet Crematory of Peoria and Lewiston, providing final care for family pets, large and small, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Their phone number is 713-1898. That's 713-1898. More information is available at peoriapetcrematory.com.
Pet lovers are dedicated to their animals, all species from horses to turtles and of course cats and dogs. If you are a pet lover, learn these little known, somewhat amazing facts about your pet. Have you ever heard of xylitol poisoning? I hadn't until my vet brought it to my attention. It's a common sugar substitute used in sugar-free chewing gum, breath mints, candies, and baked goods. It's also found in some smoking cessation products like nicotine gum. Xylitol in a dog's system may cause a life-threatening drop in blood sugar and can cause liver damage. Cats and people, however, do not experience this problem. The typical dose needed to cause poisoning is about 0.05 grams per body weight. Thus, a 10-pound dog would only have to eat one piece of gum to achieve a potentially toxic dose. Within 10 to 15 minutes of ingestion, dogs can develop low blood sugar, lose coordination, and start vomiting. Then collapse and seizures would follow. It is most important that you get your dog to the vet for treatment immediately. Your vet will promptly induce vomiting. They will then administer intravenous dextrose and fluids, frequently monitor blood sugar levels and liver values. That's a lot to go through for you and your dog just because you left a packet of sugar substitute or gum or mints lying around where he could get at it. So save yourself and your pet this anguish and keep all sugar-free products away from their reach. Your dog loves you unconditionally and relies on you to keep him safe and healthy. It's what we would do for anyone we love. This whisker of information has been made possible by a grant from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting in partnership with Spot, Saving Pets One at a Time, and KSBR Studios. Produced by Joseph C. McGuire and theme music by Stuardo Glasser.
Today's pet tip has been brought to you by Peoria Pet Crematory of Peoria and Lewiston, providing final care for family pets, large and small, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Their phone number is 713-1898. That's 713-1898. More information is available at peoriapetcrematory.com.
Thank you, Louis Linder. Always a pleasure with Louis giving us the advice. Mike, since you and your bride spent about 5 years in China, I wanted to get your thoughts about the pomp and circumstance over the reception. They really rolled out the red carpet for Donald Trump, and my highlight of watching some of the activity was when they had the Chinese children, and they were all wearing American clothes. It was beautiful, and they had American flags they were wearing. I was really Chinese impressed by that. That was a clever idea.
Well, the Chinese they're really, I guess, when you say roll out the red carpet, they're very literal about that. They enjoy huge ceremonies with large groups of people. I mean, we were there during the Beijing Olympics, and oh my God, they did it to the nines. They had dove releases, and they had big parades, and they had all sorts of stuff going on to celebrate the Olympics, because they really like putting on a huge show for things. I mean, it's I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a Chinese thing. They like to make a big deal out of stuff.
What do they call that big wall of the people or hall of the the Great Hall of the People? I mean, that's remarkable.
Yeah. I mean, there's a whole area in downtown Beijing. Well, downtown Beijing is centered around the Forbidden City, which is, the Emperor's Temple, and that's where, the Great Hall of the People and all the Chinese Communist Party, buildings are. I mean, it's equivalent of, Washington, D.C., and they do that. It's very, very formal, very ordered.
Yeah. Didn't you say that they're westernized, China's become fairly westernized with American restaurants like McDonald's and Arby's and so forth?
If you go to downtown Beijing, I mean, you're not going to mistake it for Milwaukee, but I mean, you'd be amazed. You get down there and there's Burger Kings, there's Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Don't they love Kentucky Fried Chicken?
Oh yeah. I mean, I think
more than Americans do, because we're shutting down all.
Yeah,
the
we're shutting down. I think
here.
they're all the franchisees are all moving to China because they're crazy for KFC.
Yeah, they love KFC.
I think KFC is like the #1 franchise, or at least it was when we were there, the #1 American franchise there.
What happened to KFC in this country, at least in Central Illinois?
They're still doing fine in some areas, but our area, the one in Pekin, the one on Glen, the one in Pekin, the one in Morton, the one in Washington, they've all closed.
Yeah. The one on Allen Road, that's
and
closed.
University, there was one just on.
Well, my question remains the same. What happened to them?
I'm not sure. I think people are starting to lose their taste for, classic fried chicken.
Yeah, and yet Chick-fil-A is alive.
That's what I was going to say. Chick-fil-A plus McDonald's and every hamburger place
sells them.
But they're not. Yeah,
and Cane's.
They just opened, didn't they?
But they're not.
That's growing.
Most of them are. They're not making their money on fried chicken. They're making money on chicken sandwiches. Mm-hmm. So the idea of like, oh, there's a bone in my food. Apparently, Americans are getting squeamish about that.
Really?
Food's not supposed to have bones in it, is it?
Well.
We're becoming far too civilized.
I think what happens is, after a while, if you don't change your menu, if you don't add some things, take some things off, they feel I think they get tired of it. I know we used to eat at a cafeteria on University so often that after a while we didn't go anymore because we got tired of the same old.
Well, yeah,
and that might have something to do with KFC.
And KFC's their big changes when they went with regular or extra crispy.
Yeah.
Really?
But it just Harlan Sanders, he came up with a great product that people loved for about 40 years, and now it seems like they're moving on to something else and leaving KFC in the dustbin of restaurants like TGIFs and.
But you see a proliferation of chicken places. You've got Popeyes, you got Chick-fil-A, you got Raising Cane, which is a relatively new franchise, at least in our area. So chicken seems to be still popular among the eating public.
Yeah.
What's the #1? Well, who's the #1 franchise? It
has to be McDonald's.
Used to be Subway for many, many years. They were the #1.
They found on disfavor. They've got one in Tremont that's on its last leg.
The franchise that makes the most money per unit is Chick-fil-A.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
And they're closed one day out of the week.
They're closed on Sundays. It's very, very religious.
But I think that as far as the most actual franchises, it's Subway, followed by McDonald's.
Oh, okay. Wow. Wow.
Because there's Subways everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
And another franchise that's hit on hard times, Steak and Shake.
Oh, yeah.
Steak and Shake is struggling. One and Morton is, I don't know how they're surviving. And they decided to cut costs personnel-wise. And now when you go into Steak and Shake, you have to use the
little kiosk there to order your
kiosk,
food.
yeah. And a lot of people, and I'm one of them, I want to talk to somebody about what I want to order.
Yeah, I mean, the first time I experienced that, we were at Bike Week in Daytona a few years ago, and there's nobody there. You had to order from the little
phone booth
tablet. Yeah, but you know that's the way it's going. McDonald's and Chillicothe now is pretty much like that. Most McDonald's now, they've got 2 or 3 little kiosks right there, and you'll stand, you know, with your finger up your nose for 4 or 5 minutes at the register, waiting for someone to come up and go. And they walk up like, "What are you doing here?" I want to order food. That's what the kiosk is for.
Yeah, you know, and that's interesting. WRL went off the air, and the reason they did, it was an automated station. There was nobody there. And I got a big kick out of their announcement when they said we're closing down, but no one's going to lose their job. That's because no one had a job. Yeah, what a disingenuous announcement that was. Anyway, we've got news, weather, sports coming up. Stay tuned. You're having breakfast with Roger and Friends on WAZU FM 90.7. Also on YouTube. Glad to see you, everybody. Don't go away.
That great hall hooked up has a floor space.
Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday, the 14th of May, and we begin with a check of the weather brought to you by Sam Lilly and Associates. Here's a guy providing a comprehensive range of insurance products, including personal auto, home life, and medical coverage. You know, Sam has been handling Medicare plans and options, something he's been doing during his 40 years in the industry, in the business. Neat guy. And I can tell you, if you have any question about insurance, any type of insurance, he's available at Sam Lilly, 309-245-4374. Let's start with the weather. And what do you have for us, Terry?
Roger, I've got sunny and pleasant today, high 74, but then increasing cloudiness tonight with showers after midnight, low about 55. Tomorrow, showers, thunderstorms, a gradual clearing, high of 79, more showers late tomorrow night. Saturday, showers and thunderstorms, high about 85. Sunday, partly sunny, but a chance for some rain. High 85. It'll be wet the next few days. Right now, 44 degrees at the wazoo.
And now the news this morning presented by Advanced Medical Transport, the premier provider of emergency and scheduled ambulance service in central, western, and eastern Illinois. You know, there are more than 500 employees at AMT, men and women, are dedicated to offering and providing the best in healthcare. Saving lives is what they do, and what we do is give you the most comprehensive news in Peoria radio with Mike and Terry.
Well, thank you, Roger. Community criticism of OSF healthcare continues after they announced the termination of the St. Jude Clinic, effective at the end of the month. Sources report the decision came with little advance notice, especially to the St. Jude families undergoing treatment in Peoria. OSF allegedly violated their contract with St. Jude and could face litigation from the St. Jude officials in Memphis.
WEEK-TV incorrectly reported that the St. Jude Clinic would be working independently. However, there will not be a Peoria clinic since its staff of doctors and nurses are employees of OSF. This news is discomforting as the St. Jude Clinic, the first affiliate of the Memphis Hospital, has been a part of Peoria for over 50 years. Reportedly, the termination of the St. Jude Medical Facility was made for financial reasons, but that has not been confirmed.
Prior to the opening of the St. Jude Midwest affiliate in 1972 at Methodist Hospital, pediatrician Robert Hart was sending children stricken with cancer to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee. Newly diagnosed children in central Illinois may once again opt to go to Memphis, though OSF officials stated that they would continue to provide cancer care. The question is, Will that care be free at OSF, as it has been since its founding by entertainer Danny Thomas and repeated locally by Mayor Jim Maloof and Mike McCoy?
Speaking of Mike McCoy, he informs us that the fundraising to support the work of St. Jude continues. He'll be driving this morning with the local Corvette Club. They're holding their annual drive to Memphis, leaving from Uftring's dealership in Washington. Once in Memphis, drivers will visit the St. Jude Hospital, have dinner, and hand over a big check to the medical staff to ensure care and treatment is free for children battling cancer. We'll talk with Mike about 7:30 this morning as we wish him and all the Corvette drivers a safe trip to Memphis.
Talking about cars, well, two of them collided at the busy intersection of University and Glen yesterday morning around 10. One of the drivers couldn't get out of her vehicle and had to be freed by Peoria firefighters. She went to a local hospital. No word, however, on her condition. The newly appointed police chief, Brad Dixon, told our listeners and viewers Tuesday morning that he is going to take focus on drivers who ignore city speed limits. Dixon takes office tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m.
Congratulations to Peoria City Council. They approved another place to sell booze in the city. The vote was close. It was 6-5 in favor of a liquor license for the King Zone Grocery. That's located at 2411 North Knoxville. The children's home's at 2130 North Knoxville. Supporters for King said the owner couldn't make a profit without making the firewater available for customers.
Yeah. Is there a big profit margin in alcohol? Is that
I don't think the margin's that much bigger than groceries. Groceries, the big markup in groceries is cereals and candy, but
Yeah.
I think they're in a good location to sell a lot of it, I think, is what the deal is.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's
There's a need for, I don't know, want. There's a want for a lot of alcohol in that area.
there's a existing market in that area.
Isn't that true, senators, that at many years ago, many neighborhoods had at least one bar?
Oh yeah,
There was a lot of little neighborhood bars. I
Yeah,
don't know if there's a
neighborhood
lot
bars.
around here. I think in the down the south end there was more neighborhood bars. In north
Well,
end,
the
there
north.
wasn't.
Well, let me tell you, my neighborhood, we had New Bridge Villa, we had Mutual Tap, we had Miller's Smokehouse.
I still consider
And-
that downtown. You're talking about the old Averyville.
Yes.
Yeah, that's still
The
down.
North Valley.
yeah,
The North Valley.
You pissants.
We gotta get it right.
yeah. You know, I mean, hey, just because you live there doesn't mean you know what you're talking about.
That's true.
Yeah. I can't argue that.
No.
That was good. You guys really knifed me in the back.
Oh yeah, and we like to twist it once we got it in
Yeah, I
there.
noticed that. Hitting below the belt, is illegal.
Another hot spot in Peoria, Big Al's, is apparently getting ready to reopen. The strip club has been closed to the delight of many and the disappointment of some since August of 2024. This has been the site of shootings in 2023 and 2024. The new owner says he wants to expand operations to include not only strippers, but entertainers and musicians for concerts. It must be closed, however, each night at 1 a.m.
I can picture Big Al's announcing the appearance of Van Cliburn.
Well, or Yayama, or what, Bill Mama, or Your Mama.
Yeah. Or Ethel Waters, or who was the one who used to sing the national anthem?
Ethel Merman?
Yeah, Ethel Merman.
No, Kate Smith.
Or Kate Smith.
And now appearing at
That
Big
would be
Al's,
something if we
Kate
had-
Smith.
Yeah.
Who exactly are the people upset that Big Al's is closed? I haven't heard an uproar for
I
that
think
yet.
there may be some apostolic Christians that are
Oh,
a little,
yes, of course.
little tightly wound on the subject.
Yeah. I know one area they're not unhappy, and that's the Peoria Police Department. They've had some major shootings. One left a guy paralyzed and blind.
Yeah.
I think he was a bouncer for Big Al's.
He was a bouncer, and then they made all kinds of stipulations too for this license on their video surveillance. The police have access to their surveillance. It has to go basically kind of through the police system.
No
So they can look at any time
So they just have a
want.
long extension cord from the
yeah,
police
it's
station
Yeah.
over to Big Al's because they're only a block away. Right?
And and I'm glad you mentioned that because in talking to Brad Dixon, he indicated that's when they first recognized Terry Grawey was in the audience.
But who do you think is going to monitor that at the police department?
Terry Grawey.
Yeah.
I got my resume in. In other news,
Yes, please.
the Chinese rolled out the red carpet for President Donald Trump and a large contingent from the United States. Trump and President Ping have a lot to talk about, from the war in Iran to trade, tariffs, Taiwan, and artificial intelligence. High on the agenda, of course, is the Strait of Hormuz, which is now considered closed to all shipping.
A goof in protocol at a hospital in the Netherlands has resulted in a quarantine of 12 hospital staff members. It all happened with the arrival of one of the passengers of that cruise ship who was diagnosed with the hantavirus. Blood and urine from the infected patient was not properly disposed, and a Dutch official said that despite the chance of infection being small, well, there's going to be 12 employees who will go into preventative quarantine for 6 weeks as a precaution. Ow. 3 people have died after contracting the virus so far.
Yeah. Do you have any idea, Dr. Sidler, what protocol they violated? I know in doctors' offices, clinics, hospitals, and so forth, they have a container where they call it biohazard for hypodermic needles, et cetera, and so forth. But when it comes to blood products, is there a special protocol apparently for how you get rid of it?
Oh yes, absolutely. And people even locally here have been
Exposed?
have been found to be in violation of those kinds of safety procedures. Yes, it has to be kept separate from garbage. In other words, if you just get a drop of blood on a bandage, you can't throw that in a garbage can in a doctor's office. You have to have every room has a separate receptacle for body fluid products, as in addition to that little needle container thing. I don't know how much good all of that does, because we know people violate that all the time in medical offices, because you're holding something, you're trying to keep a wound from bleeding, and that's the closest thing. You're gonna pitch it to wherever you can kind of get rid of it, so we used to take great caution not to violate anything, because that can even affect your license to practice medicine if you're found to be throwing special biohazard stuff, which is basically anything with a body fluid on it, into a garbage can, and so you have to have a specialized waste hauler come and pick that up. You can't just have the garbage people pick that up.
Now the question is, where do they take it?
Well, it's incinerated, so it is treated differently. It's not handled with the other garbage stuff that you picked up at your curb or in those big dumpsters. So it is incinerated rather than added to the landfills and so forth. But beyond that, I'm not sure exactly how that works. But Peoria Disposal had a service for that.
Yeah, PDC. However, I do know, since you brought it up, that Methodist did have an incinerator that they used to burn and get rid of things. And that's one of the reasons why the neighborhood had an unusual odor or fragrance. No, the incinerator's true. The odor, I made that up.
Okay, good, because that was gross. I know it's not in your field, but I miss the spit sinks.
The what?
The dentist?
The dental spit sinks.
Yeah, our generation will never
those.
get used to swallowing their own
Yeah.
Or have them
dental
suck it out
garbage,
or
whatever that
something.
is that it fills your mouth after they work on your teeth, and they're just given a cup to swallow it.
They don't
with.
let you spit anymore.
Well, that was because I kept missing it.
Well, I think that might you're part of the problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
I missed your
All right.
swirly spit.
Any other news, or we pretty well
let's
wrap
call
it
it a
up?
day.
All right.
That's it.
Now let's turn to WCBU for their news.
From the WCBU Newsroom, I'm Ben Howell. A lead fundraiser for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital says his group will continue raising funds for St. Jude after its split with OSF Healthcare. Mike McCoy, co-founder of St. Jude Runs, says the change could impact medical decisions, but that does not mean care disappears in Central Illinois.
And a lot of hospitals have affiliate relationships with St. Jude. And because there won't be one in Peoria, it doesn't mean that there's not places where people can get treated close by.
OSF's Children's Hospital will no longer be an affiliate of St. Jude Children's Research Hospital starting in July. Congressman Darren LaHood said he favors an approach to dealing with the looming Social Security insolvency that could take at least some of the political gamesmanship out of the difficult issue.
That would be bipartisan, small group of Senate and House members that would meet for 1 year and come up with significant proposals that we would vote up or down on.
Up or down votes make it more difficult for other lawmakers to water down proposals, and they concentrate all the political pain of cuts into a small number of votes. An East Bluff convenience and grocery store is one step closer to being able to sell packaged liquor, but whether or not the business receives a license remains to be seen. The Peoria City Council approved in a 6-5 vote the site application for the King Zone Market on Knoxville Avenue. Alex Carmona has been the biggest advocate for the business.
This will never be a liquor store, not even close. The footprint of the actual liquor is probably 10% of the store.
Mayor Rita Ali will make the ultimate determination in her role as liquor commissioner. Ali was among those voting against approval. Advocates for safer streets are pushing state lawmakers for more bike and trail infrastructure. One measure they support would allow repeat offenders who are caught going 26 miles per hour over the limit to avoid having their license suspended if they have a device installed on their vehicles that prevents them from speeding. Republican State Representative Jennifer Sonalitro of Itasca voted against the plan.
I think I thought the FOP was against it, but I also feel like people are going to speed, they're going to speed. The only time I believe that you should have a device in your car is if you're a drunk driver.
The measure has passed the House. I'm Ben Howell.
Activity going on your
Not so
website.
much right now. Bradley did sign a new player over this past weekend, and we talked about that. Maybe we didn't talk about it since I haven't been here since last week. A kid from Serbia who played at a prep school in New York this past year. His name is Dmitry Pavlovic.
Are you sure?
Yes. He 6'5" guard.
Good size guard.
Yeah, another good size guard. Remember, they signed the Bulgarian guard, who's also 6'5". He's been playing with a pro team over in Bulgaria for a couple of seasons, and he's 22 years old, going to be 23 shortly, and so he's an older guy. This kid is only 19, high school age, so he's got 4 years of eligibility. And so he will help in terms of the depth for the team, and we've got some videos up on him and on the message board, and he looks pretty skilled. I would say if he was a high school senior, people would wonder why he's not getting high major interest. But he's playing at a rather obscure prep school out in New York, and I think that may have hurt him as far as exposure goes. So I think he'll turn out to be a decent player for Bradley. Let's hope so. And then Bradley had their year-end awards banquet Monday night and handed out a number of awards, and some of them went to basketball players. The highest award is the Osborne Award.
Chuck Osborne?
It used to be called the Watanga Award, if you remember that one.
Yeah, I do.
It goes back to the 1930s.
Yes, I remember well.
It goes to the athlete displaying the highest level of sportsmanship and skill and all the things that you want and it went to Kaylin Nelson, the top scorer on the women's team this year. It more often than not seems to go to a men's basketball player, but sometimes to other sports as well. So congratulations to Kaylin Nelson.
Is she coming back?
No, she's a senior and has used up
And
her
graduated,
eligibility, and that's unfortunate. Of course, the women's coach, Kate Popovic, left to take the head coaching job
Hey,
at
she's gone now. isn't
Boston
she?
College. Yes,
Wow.
kind of a
Head
surprise
coaching
to
there?
everybody. Head coach there.
Wow.
And her top recruit, a gal from
Bulgaria?
Wisconsin. No, she pulled out of Bradley and is going to go to Boston College now. So that's unfortunate because she was a very good high school player from Wisconsin. Would have really helped to get her here at Bradley. But hey, that happens. Anyway, we'll start with sports, and we'll start with baseball. The Cubs played yesterday, and the results were not good. They lost again to the Atlanta Braves 4-1. So after that 10-game winning streak, the Cubs have now lost their last 4, and the bats have really quieted down. They've only scored 3 runs in this 4-game losing streak, and only an average of 3 hits per game. So they've got to straighten that out if they want to hang on to first place. They still are in first place in the National League Central. They will play the Braves again tonight at 6:15 to finish that series, and then they come back to Chicago and play a series against the White Sox on the south side of Chicago. The St. Louis Cardinals lost to the Sacramento A's out in California 6-2 last night. The Cardinals will play the A's in an afternoon game today. It'll be 2:05 our time, and then they have a home series against Kansas City Royals starting tomorrow. White Sox beat the Kansas City Royals last night. Sox 4th win in a row, and they're back to 500 at 21-21. This is pretty good for a team that's lost over 100 games the last 3 years. They play the Royals again tonight at 6:40, and then they've got that series with the Cubs starting tomorrow night. And the Peoria Chiefs lost to the Beloit Skycarp 6-4. They'll play again tonight and again through Sunday. That series continues. The Chiefs' record 15-19 on the season. They're
Not good.
Not good. They're tied with Beloit now for last place in the West Division of the Midwest League, but they're only 5.5 games out of first because everybody else has got mediocre records. So let's hope that the Chiefs can straighten that out. And then NBA, we're into the second round of playoffs. The Cleveland Cavaliers beat the Detroit Pistons 117-113 in Game 5. Cleveland takes a 3-2 lead. The Colorado Avalanche came back from being down 3-0 in the NHL second round playoffs to beat the Minnesota Wild 4-3 in overtime, and that was Game 5 also. They win that series 4-1. Golf news, the first major tournament of the year. The 108th PGA Championship is already teed off this morning in Newtown Square, Pennsylvania, just west of Philadelphia. Last year's winner, Scotty Scheffler, the favorite this year, and just ahead of Rory McIlroy, the second favorite. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe at the 8 o'clock hour, I'll see if there's some scores coming in already. And the Preakness is this Saturday, the 151st Preakness, but this one's different. For the first time in 151 years, it will be held somewhere other than Pimlico Racecourse in Baltimore. It'll be at Laurel Park in Laurel, Maryland. That's about halfway between Baltimore and Washington, D.C. So they got to walk those horses a few miles down the road. No, I don't think they do that. The Preakness Pimlico Racecourse is, of course, closed for renovations. It will reopen next year for the 2027 Preakness. Kentucky Derby winner Golden Tempo not racing. 14 horses in the race, and we have talked about that a little bit. The favorites are Iron Honor at 9-2, Taj Mahal, Chip Honcho, and Incredibolt at 5-1, and Oselli at 6-1. So those are all the top 6 favorites for the race Saturday. Race around 6 o'clock, and the coverage on NBC starts much earlier, I think around 1:30 in the afternoon.
You know, we talked about different restaurants closing and so forth. Something else is no longer a part of our society that once was, and that's horse racing. You know, Arlington Heights, didn't they have a racetrack? And our dear friend Freddie Elmore had, what do they call the trotters, where the jockey is in a buggy behind. They call those trotters. And
Surrey races?
what was that?
There's another name for it.
Surrey or Sulkies.
Yeah. Sulky
Yeah.
racing.
Was Fred Elmore involved in that?
Harness
Oh yeah, he was
Really?
big in that. He traveled all over the Illinois and Indiana racing.
Really?
Yeah.
Did he have horses?
Yes, he did.
There was
Had
a
horses.
doctor in town. I can't. He was a surgeon. and he had a bunch of lived out on 150.
Well, Dr. not Overcash, gastroenterologist, his wife, Dr. Cashman's wife, I
she has
think
some?
had horses, and Kathy's sister Sherry has a stable of show horses, and she's won national awards traveling around. Beautiful horses. They don't like me, but I admire. Hold your hand out, and
What's her name used to sell horses? Mike Cullinan's sister. She had a farm between here and I don't know, Hannah City or someplace, and she used to sell. They'd sell a quarter of a horse for a couple $100,000 or something.
Is that kind of like a quarter of a cow?
Yeah, I don't know because she had some very expensive horses. Stables were nicer than my living room.
What was the staple off of University? They even named a restaurant. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Where on University are you talking
By
about?
Lake Street.
There was a stable there?
By Lake Street?
Well, not right there, but in that neighborhood. And help me out with the name of the restaurant that was in that area. And
Lake and
then I'll tell you the name of the
Lake
stable.
and University.
Oh, yes,
that's
that area.
Peoria Players.
On the other side of University, I think.
Before the houses were built, you're talking.
Yes, correct.
Well, that would predate
That'd be
my
50 years
experience
ago.
in Peoria.
Corral.
Not the Golden Corral?
No. Well, let's see. I
That's
didn't
on University,
take my Prevagen this morning, so I can't remember. But what started to initiate the conversation is horse racing used to be popular. Matter of fact, they used to brag. Allegedly, it had the largest followers of any sport, including baseball.
Yeah, that used to
Really?
be the case, but
Not anymore.
Was it the
awful lot of
PETA groups
racetracks that closed down?
was that part of the downfall, the PETA people, or?
No,
I don't know that
nobody
made
paid
that
any
big a
attention
difference,
to
but
them.
It's just a different
I
generation.
don't know, they
and
closed the tracks in Florida.
Washington Park it was a racetrack up in the south suburbs, close to where I grew up, and it was busy. We had family and friends that all went there frequently to do the betting.
Wow.
It closed down about the same time Arlington Park did. I think Hawthorne is the only one in Chicago that still operates.
Still operates?
Races, yeah.
And they don't race as often as they used to. And they do more business by their off-track betting than they do with the racing that they have there.
I'll be darned. Yeah, I don't know.
There's other sports too that have kind of become. Boxing is less popular than
Right.
it used to be.
Bowling's less
Roller derby,
popular.
bowling.
Roller-
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Used to have bowling on TV every week.
I think at one time bowling was the number one participatory. More people participated in bowling than any other sport.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not
At one
surprising.
point, I don't think that's true anymore. But
All right, we have Mike McCoy on the line. The Corvette Club is on the road again on behalf of St. Jude. Mike McCoy is on the line. Good morning, Mike.
Hey, good morning, Roger and friends. How y'all doing?
Okay, what kind of turnout do you have this year for the Corvette Club?
Pardon me, I didn't hear that.
I said, what kind of a turnout do you have with all the Corvettes?
This is outstanding. This is the 15th year for this event, and we've got about 50 cars leaving from Peoria. We're meeting people from 6 other cities that we've started. In Dyersburg tonight, we're going to have 145 Corvettes going into St. Jude tomorrow morning.
Oh my goodness! Do you have a police kind of helping you on the highway, or are you strictly on your own?
Now we have, from Peoria, we have 3 groups, leaving of about 18 cars each, and we're on our own. Once we get to Dyersburg tonight, from tomorrow morning, we'll have 12 state troopers from Tennessee with us. We'll have the Shelby County and Memphis City motorcycle group, which will be about 30 motorcycles, leading us the last 70 miles, because there'll be the 145 Corvettes, according to AI, is about 3.8 miles of cars.
Wow.
Are there enough hotel rooms in Dyersburg for everybody?
You know what, Coach, you'd laugh, but it's really funny. We had to close. We've got so many people who want to do this. This year we had to stop the registration because they're out of hotel rooms. They're building a new hotel to be done in August.
Town
But
in northern Tennessee, just like he says, 70 miles from Memphis. But yeah, crazy.
yeah, we've got every hotel room. We got about 300 people going, and about 320 people will be there. And Mayor John Holden, great guy, him and a group of his friends are once again tonight having a fish fry for us at their community center.
Mike, how did this all get started?
Well, it got started 15 years ago when I was finally getting tired of running, and was thinking,
Hey, we can drive a car and do this.
well, this year we're celebrating 20 years of the motorcycle. So, I got 20 years ago. I got tired of running, got a motorcycle. Then after that, I got tired of riding a motorcycle and thought we better figure out how I can drive.
When's the motorhome group coming?
Yeah.
That's with the run. Yeah. It is.
Got to get a Cadillac group going.
Get a Cadillac.
Well, we did start. Rick Simonis started a Jeep group. So later on this year, they got a Jeep group that's going to go down to Memphis too.
Yeah. What kind of money have you raised over the 10 to 15 years?
How much money is that? I think we've raised. Let me tell you. Hold on, I'm looking it up right now.
Well, keep your eyes on the road.
I am. Amy, my co-pilot Amy, she's on this already.
Okay.
We've raised $3.3 million already,
Oh my God.
and we raised $500,000 last year, so we're on a good projection. If you compare it to anything, one thing you think about is it took the St. Jude runs 9 years to raise the first $1 million.
Wow.
And now we're raising, $6 million a year. So the Corvette drive has potential. The riders have raised, I know they've raised over $8 million in the motorcycle group. So, all these people are excited about what they can do to help save kids' lives.
What are you going to do when you get to Memphis? I know they have a planned agenda and a program. Tell our listeners what's going to happen.
Well, when we arrive at Memphis, believe it or not, they do this only for the people in Peoria. There'll be about 1,500 to 2,000 employees out along the street with signs and bells welcoming us. And then we'll go in and we'll have a meeting on Friday morning, and we'll announce how much money we've raised. Ike Anad, who is the head of ALSAC, the fundraising drive, is going to be our speaker Friday morning. And we have tours. Peoria is one of the very few places that get to go on tours of the hospital anymore, but everybody will get to go on we have like 5 different tours people could take. And then we're going to have a lunch, and then the event's over.
Yeah. What a remark. On the way back, do you kind of leave kind of sporadically instead of one long line of Corvettes?
Yeah, that's a great question, Roger. What it is since the event's over, people go a lot of places, and the last several years there have been 10 or 12 of us that have rented a house, VRBO house on the way back down in southern Illinois, and we go and relax for a couple of days. It's been a hectic week, as you know, at St. Jude.
Yeah. I think one year, didn't you go missing for several days?
I think people like to get rid of me for 7 days or so.
Well, it sounds exciting. If someone came upon the long line of Corvettes, do some of them try to cut in, and how do you handle some of the truckers that sometimes you may need to pass?
We pass them, but just like right now, cars are going by us. We drive 72 miles an hour. And we stay in the left lane, and if somebody wants in, of course, we're going to let them in. But we're a pretty tight little pack. The group I'm in has got 18 cars and a van in it, and we're pretty much snug together and, driving just a couple of miles above the speed limit. and the cars that want to get around us pretty easy.
Yeah. Do they know who you are, or do you have any kind of signage to let people know that you're driving on behalf of children with cancer?
We do, Roger. The van in the back is one of the run vans that, that's got a wrap around it and tells what it is, a run, ride, and drive van. And each Corvette has got a big sign on it that, on the side has got an emblem, a shield. The logo is on the side, both sides of every Corvette.
Yeah. I can't let you get away without asking what kind of feedback have you been hearing, receiving with the announcement that they're closing the St. Jude clinic down at St. Francis?
Well, I think that anybody that is on Facebook or knows somebody can tell you what the feedback has been like. Like I said, I'm disappointed in the announcement, but St. Jude is a research hospital. They have different agendas, business plans than other places have. And our fundraising and our effort in Peoria and this area is going to continue even stronger now. The talk this morning was so positive about what St. Jude does to help save kids' lives. So other people can make their business decisions however they want to.
Yeah. Amen that. And, of course, congratulations. Here you are, still at it on behalf of children who have been stricken and their families with cancer, raising money so that families don't go bankrupt or get into trouble financially. The model remains the same. No child, no family pays for the medical care provided by the St. Jude Research Hospital of Memphis, Tennessee. And, by the way, what are the other cities that have affiliates with St. Jude?
Roger, there's 7 of them. There's Shreveport, and I can't remember all of them. Jackson, Mississippi, and the ones that are going today, though, that are interesting are we have a team from Great Lakes, a team from Louisville, a team from Michigan and Indiana, people coming from Nashville, and then, of course, Peoria and St. Louis. So, but your question about the affiliates, I know what they are. I can't remember them because I'm trying to drive.
Okay. I certainly don't want you to take your eyes off the road. And congratulations once again with your leadership. And kudos to your co-pilot, Amy, who I know is going to get you there safely as well. So thanks for chatting with us. God bless you for what you're doing, my friend.
Hey, thanks, Roger, and tell everybody hello out there. We love them, and thanks for everything you do to keep us going. And once again, I can't stop saying it. It's all because of you guys that started this, and Dr. Hart and Dr. Taraska that were smart enough to realize that such a good community Peoria is to raise so much money, because the lives we've saved are unbelievable. As a matter of fact, in the car behind me is Dylan and Lane Langhoff. From Notre Dame. Dylan just completed his second round of treatment for cancer, had his last treatment on Sunday, and he's driving a Corvette that somebody gave him with his father to go along with us. That's what it's about.
One final question, and it's a key question for our listeners. As you drive down the road, what town had the lowest price for gas?
One of the things we did a long time ago was when people register, the tank of gas on the way down to Memphis, we pay for as an organization. So people got to worry about it coming back, but we're going to take care of it on the way down. But I don't think we're going to see anything in the $2 area this year.
No,
I think you're right. Well, thanks, man. Be safe, my friend. God bless you.
Hey, thanks, Roger. You guys have fun there today, and see you on Monday.
You bet. Thanks. Mike McCoy, what a guy.
Yeah.
What he's done for children and their families is absolutely breathtaking, and I know God is so pleased and proud of Mike McCoy as we are. Hey, how about some news at the bottom of the hour? And our news brought to you by our good friend Bob Manning for investment questions and information. Bob Manning's available. He's with the Grandview Capital Group at Morgan Stanley. He's a senior vice president, has been in the investment advisory field now for more than 27 years. And Bob's phone number, 309-671-4653. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC, member SIPC. And with the news, here's Mike Dentino. Mike.
Thanks, Roger. Community criticism of OSF healthcare continues after they announced the termination of the St. Jude Clinic, effective at the end of the month. Sources report the decision came with little advance notice, especially to St. Jude families receiving treatment in Peoria. OSF allegedly violated their contract with St. Jude and could face litigation. A local TV station incorrectly reported that the St. Jude Clinic would be working independently. However, there will not be a Peoria clinic since its staff of doctors and nurses are all employees of OSF. This news is discomforting as the St. Jude Clinic, the first affiliate of the Memphis Hospital, has been a part of Peoria for over 50 years. Reportedly, the termination of St. Jude Medical Facility was made for financial reasons, but that has not yet been confirmed. Prior to the opening of the St. Jude Midwest affiliate in 1972 at Methodist Hospital, pediatrician Dr. Robert Hart was sending children stricken with cancer to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee. Newly diagnosed children in central Illinois may once again opt to go to Memphis, though OSF officials stated they would continue to provide cancer care. The question is, will that care be free at OSF, as it has been since the founding by Danny Thomas and repeated locally by Mayor Jim Maloof and Mike McCoy? Speaking of Mike McCoy, he informs us the fundraising to support the work of St. Jude continues. He'll be driving this morning as the local Corvette Club holds its annual drive to Memphis, leaving from Uftring's dealership in Washington. And once in Memphis, the drivers will visit the St. Jude Hospital. Talking about cars, two of them collided at the intersection of University and Glen yesterday morning around 10. One of the drivers couldn't get out of her vehicle and had to be freed by Peoria firefighters. Newly appointed Police Chief Brad Dixon told our listeners Tuesday morning that he is going to focus on drivers who ignore city speed limits. Dixon takes office tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. Peoria City Council approved another place to sell booze in the city. The vote was close, 6-5, in favor of a liquor license for the King's Zone Grocery located at 2411 North Knoxville. The children's home is at 2130 North Knoxville. Supporters for King's said the owner could not make a profit without making liquor available for consumers. Another hot spot in Peoria, Big Al's, is getting ready to reopen. The strip club has been closed since August of 2024. It's been the site of shootings in both 2023 and 2024. The new owner says he wants to expand operations to include not only strippers, but entertainers and musicians for concerts. In other news, the Chinese rolled out the red carpet for President Donald Trump and a large contingent from the United States. Trump and the President Xi Jinping have a lot in common. They have a lot to talk about the war in Iran, about trade, tariffs, Taiwan, and artificial intelligence. High on the agenda is the Strait of Hormuz, which is now considered closed to all shipping. A mistaken protocol at a hospital in the Netherlands has resulted in the quarantine of 12 hospital staff members. It all happened with the arrival of one of the passengers of that cruise ship who was diagnosed with hantavirus. Blood and urine from the infected patient was not properly disposed of. A Dutch official said that despite the chance of infection being small, the 12 employees will have to undergo preventative quarantine for 6 weeks. As a precaution, 3 people have died after contracting the virus. Today is the last day of the Arts and Education program featuring students from 5 county schools, and it ends on what they call Peace Day. The highlight is the performance of 250 student musicians gathered as a full orchestra in what will be a sensational celebration of the country's 250th anniversary. Students will be performing between 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the rear plazas of the Riverfront Museum and the Caterpillar Visitor Center. Plenty of free parking with lots of good food on hand. Congratulations to our own Dave Poles, who is once again chairman of this spectacular event. And Roger, that's it for news at the bottom of the hour.
What a great event. I'm going to try to make it. I also want to try some of the vendor food that they have down there, because for one thing, it's going to be a nice day. We're going to get the weather in just a moment from Terry Grawey, because we want to mention that the weather is getting better. A high today. Well, you're going to give the weather, but as the weather improves, so does the interest in, thank you, in looking at making a change perhaps in where you live. This is a good time to start checking out the inventory of available homes in your price range, and it's a good idea to check with a good realtor, and that good realtor we recommend is our dear friend Kathy Reynolds of Home Smart. She would like to assist you in your search, and she's available as we speak at 309-696-2162. What kind of day we're going to have,
I
Terry?
think it might rain today, tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday, Sunday. There's even a chance. 74 for a high today, 79 tomorrow, 85 on Saturday and Sunday. But looks like it's going to be kind of damp right now. I think it's around 45 degrees at the
I've got 48 now.
You have 48. Wow, you jumped. Okay, 48
And
degrees.
today, though, sunny and pleasant. No rain in the forecast for today.
No, nice. Tonight.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
And there.
I have a question. Whenever you got a chance.
We have a question panel.
When, in the news,
Yes.
the President Trump and President Ping are going to talk about some important issues.
Yes.
Trade, obviously, and tariffs and Taiwan, and this is artificial intelligence. What I don't get, I mean, I know what artificial intelligence is, and I know there's a
I don't
big
know.
concern about it, but why would these two guys be talking about that, and what's the issue between us and China? And
Well, let's
There's
ask.
a trade deficit, a huge trade
Let's
deficit.
well, trade deficit, but I'm talking about artificial intelligence. It says that's what they're going to talk about, and what are these two guys going to talk about that for?
Well, why don't you ask the Chinese representative?
That's
Oh,
and
well, that, I
give
mean,
it to us in Chinese,
Ming
please.
Cheese Dentino.
I mean, do you want your answer to be with a Asian accent or
Yes, yes.
with a Midwestern
I don't think that's what they're
accent?
talking about. I don't think the two presidents
Here's
are
our
talking
good,
about.
good friend, Mike.
Yeah.
I don't know why that would be on the topic for these two guys to talk about.
Because they're stealing our artificial intelligence, as I
You can't
have heard.
steal intel. Well, I guess the workings of it. You mean the China's stealing
have
that
no
from
idea
us?
what
I don't know.
Well,
So it's a good
that's what
question,
AI
right?
does is it scours the internet
Yeah.
for information, and it literally steals everything that it can get.
Yeah, that's what it
There's
is.
no patent on information, I guess, so it just
You
takes
can't-
everything that's in Wikipedia.
Did they ever open their own subway, Mike?
Oh,
The Chinese?
Oh yeah, they've got subways all over China.
No, but I mean their own, not Subway, not the franchise, but maybe
You mean subway cars?
Ming's Way.
I mean, it's,
Like fast food restaurants in
Well,
China?
no, instead of Subway, since they copy, they copy our jets, they copy our
Yeah.
military equipment and so forth, they could take basically the same thing as Subway and call it Ming's Way.
You could.
well,
You could
I
do
mean,
that.
it's I mean, the Chinese have
Rickshaw
an
way.
interesting way of since they don't have letters like an alphabet like we have, they have ideographs, like little symbols.
We have idiot graphs
So
in here.
A lot of idiots on this side of the table, Ray?
It's what they do is they'll take ideographs that sound like your name. Like okay, if Mike Dentino written in Chinese, they have my ke, there's my ke, and there's two different ideograms for that.
Okay.
And then Dentino. And it's really quite impressive written
Okay.
out. There's no way I could possibly copy it.
Well, there's how many characters in the alphabet?
There's 26 characters in the alphabet.
No, not in the Chinese alphabet.
Well, in the Chinese, I mean, there's like 3,000 commonly
And
used
there's all kinds of
ideograms.
dialects.
And,
yeah.
and
Oh,
can
yeah.
they be altered slightly to have
Oh, they're
different
altered
meanings?
slightly.
Yeah,
They
real
mean
little-
something completely
yeah.
different. In fact, they have different ideographs for the same sound. Like the word "ma" can mean like 5 or 6 different, completely different things. Like
What,
horse, mother-in-law.
They do have the Panda Express, don't they?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Lee's Chinese food.
Lee's buffet. Yeah.
And how would you write in Chinese on too long?
I think there's a lot written by on too long.
But you know, a lot of really smart kids over there. I've seen
Well, we
little
got smart kids
10-year-old
over
kids
here.
that speak Chinese. I mean, they're
I mean, most of them are Chinese, though. I've seen lots of 10-year-old
They
Chinese
give
kids.
on too long.
Yeah.
these kids. I mean, they're just real little, and they speak all
You
this
know,
Chinese.
Can I switch subjects?
You could do it at your show, whatever the heck you want.
With all three of you are men of great intelligence.
Well,
Well, I was.
that's a bit of a
Maybe not
stretch.
tell this last
going out on a
conversation.
limb, but go ahead.
Would you tell me what the big attraction is for solar panels? And I ask that question because I've seen them on houses worth $500,000 to $3 million.
Yeah.
And I've seen them on houses that are worth maybe $120,000. I think, how can they afford? Because I assume it's not cheap to install solar panels.
No, it's not.
But the sun is free.
Sun's free.
The sun provides more energy to the earth
So do you
than
have solar?
everything else
do you have
combined
solar panels?
by a factor of like 1,000-fold.
Okay. Do you have solar
No,
panels?
I don't. But that
Well,
is
you
the
don't have to
future of
get
energy.
huffy about it.
No, I'm just saying.
No, I don't.
That is going to be
Well,
the
it's the
future
storage
of
that's
energy
the
production
problem now.
in the
They'll
U.S.
figure
Now,
that
not
out,
in our
yeah.
lifetimes, but somewhere down the road, as technology improves and solar panels get more efficient and last longer and don't pollute the environment, but somewhere down the line, everybody will have solar energy production.
that's true, yeah.
Every home and every city and every
Don't you
place on
find
the
them
face of the
ugly
earth.
on a roof, though?
Well, again, that probably can be improved on somewhere
Right.
down the line. I don't know
Well,
what the
it's-
answer
at,
is.
At some point, you're going to see houses built with, instead of shingles, they're going to have
Yeah.
small,
Solar
solar
collectors.
panels.
There already
And
are
it's
some of
just going to
those.
look like a roof. But yeah, I mean, I've got solar panels. And
do?
yeah, and
Are you saving money?
my electric bill is between $11 and $15 every month.
What did it cost you? $500,000 to install?
It cost me about 30 grand
Yeah.
to put it in.
Your payback's
But these-
10 years.
Well, a little, actually,
I
a
don't
little
have
shorter
that
than
much
that.
time.
Yeah, I mean, my with government incentives that were in place at the time, my payback is about 7 years, and the panels I've got are rated to produce 90% of their original output for 25 years.
Okay.
So, and I chose not to put them on the roof just because I know at some point either the roof or the panels are going to go bad, and I didn't want to have people traipsing around, 30 feet over my head, and all the attendant possibility of people falling and things getting dropped and all that.
But you have enough land.
Yeah, I've got
to
enough
put 'em
land.
on,
It's
yeah.
not a big deal. I mean, one of my sisters who's got a place in East Peoria, her neighbor in a relatively small lot has them on a ground-based array too. I mean, they're not on their roof. But it's a personal.
There's a lot of ground stuff now.
Yeah.
If you get up in a plane, fly around, there's a lot of solar fields all over Illinois.
You see a lot of them, and it's going to get more of a. It's going to become more of a thing as people start covering farmland with these things. And
That's
where
the
people
part
get-
that bothers me.
Yeah.
We're taking land that produces
Does that bother you as
food.
much as the windmills, though?
Oh, those things were, that
Those
was
are
kind of
hideous.
a bust.
No, I totally.
Yeah.
Lady Bird Johnson spinning in her grave. You remember when she
No.
wanted to ban
Billboards, yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
so they've been replaced by these god awful windmills that in Holland they're beautiful, they're scenic. In this, they're the scourge of
Yeah.
the farmland.
She painted, the electric transformers on telephone poles. She had all those painted. That was part of her little program, Lady Bird. And I think she painted them either green or gray. I can't remember which color, but it was to beautify these, and that was a big deal for Lady Bird Johnson.
Yeah, and you know what?
Okay.
Commerce always has a way of defeating government. She wanted to get rid of the billboards, so what they did, they built bigger billboards further away from the highway.
Well, see,
so
and
you
that
could
was the
still
point
see.
of my question is that there's a few of those solar farms along highways, and they are ugly and all that, but most of them are not near highways, and you don't see them. Those windmills you can see from miles away.
Oh, yeah.
You can't get away from those.
I don't know how nearby people. I've talked to John Cross, our farm advisor down in Emden, Illinois, and he acknowledged that you sometimes can hear the sound of those suckers in the middle of the night. And I maintain, I forgot to ask him, the vibration has to have a ripple effect on the ground.
Well, the thing of it is, first of all, if you look at those, they are butt ugly. Anytime I drive by, I generally see at least 10% of them not turning. Everything else is furiously moving around. And
I've often wondered, are they just out of service, or
well,
they just somebody's got to give them a spin to get them going?
Jump start me.
Contact!
But
you know, how do you be the little guy that would be up at the top to pull the blades down?
Whether you really care one way or the other about solar panels, the good news is you put them up. It's almost like you set them and forget them, and they produce electricity, and there's only one or two things that go wrong with them, but they don't require changing and lubrication, which the windmills do. They don't have blades that wear out, which the windmill blades do.
They don't kill birds.
They don't kill birds. I mean, it's all I can say is, for windmills, it seemed like a good idea at the time, but it's not.
Well, I know this. The people who own farmland know they don't have to do a doggone thing, and the revenue keeps pouring in.
You just send the check. That's all. Hey, and realistically, where you've got solar panels that'll cover the ground, and you really can't do much with whatever's on underneath them, windmills. Well, I mean, I can still farm 90% of the land around it. So all I'm worried about is, I don't know if you've ever seen the YouTube videos of one of these windmills catching fire, or getting caught in like a hurricane wind and it furiously
or lightning
turning,
strike or something,
and blades fly off. It's like, I just don't want to be anywhere near these things.
My question is, when they fall out of favor, and they will, where are they going to put them?
Well,
that's already a problem, because they have a lifespan of 7-10 years, maybe 15 at the most.
That all?
And already many of them are ending up in landfills.
Yeah.
And those are going to take thousands of years.
The
to
blades
degrade.
aren't recyclable. They're not being made out of anything that's recyclable, so they just have to landfill these things, and they may have a lifespan of as little as 7 years.
Yeah.
See, we have a tendency to not think ahead, don't we?
No, you're right.
Yeah.
And and then not to put too fine a point on it, but a lot of these windmills are being made in China.
Well, a lot of the solar panels, I understand, like 90% are made in China. And we'll talk some more about that and a few other things coming up after we pause at the top of the hour to bring you news, weather, and sports. You're having breakfast with Roger and Friends on WACU FM 90.7 in Peoria, Illinois, and also on YouTube. Always great to see folks around the world, somewhere, somehow, watching us on YouTube. Good morning. Don't go away. More coming up. good morning, everybody. So happy to see everybody and the bright, smiling faces this morning. And for good reason. It's a beautiful morning, Thursday, the 14th of May. And we're going to tell you how beautiful the day's going to be after we remind you that portion of our program brought to you by Hines Roofing. And they've been helping folks, homeowners, commercial organizations, and others for over 33 years, repairing and replacing roofs right here in central Illinois. And the owner is Doug Hines, a U.S. veteran, a neat guy, and you can reach him at 309-672-0510. That's 672-0910. Quality work by quality people at Hines Roofing.
Well, Roger, it will be sunny and pleasant today. High 74, increasing cloudiness late tonight. Showers after midnight. Low 55 tomorrow. Showers and thunderstorms with gradual clearing. And a high of about 79. More showers late tomorrow night. Showers and thunderstorms Saturday. High 85. Sunday, maybe some thunderstorms. High 85. Right now, it's 48 at the Wazoo.
And now a check of the news brought to you by Steve Sink, certified business professional with PHX affiliates. Steve, you know, has been a business broker for over 20 years. He's sold businesses valued from $25,000 to $45 million. He knows business, and you can reach Steve today at 309-696-8508. Now the news with Mike and Terry.
Thank you, Roger. Community criticism of OSF healthcare continues after they announced its termination of the St. Jude Clinic effective at the end of the month. Sources report the decision came with little advance notice, especially to the St. Jude families undergoing treatment in Peoria. OSF allegedly violated their contract with St. Jude's and could face litigation from St. Jude officials in Memphis.
WEEK-TV incorrectly reported the St. Jude Clinic would be working independently. However, there will not be a Peoria clinic since its staff of doctors and nurses are employees of OSF. This news is discomforting as the St. Jude Clinic, the first affiliate of the Memphis Hospital, has been a part of Peoria area for over 50 years. Reportedly, the termination of the St. Jude Medical Facility was made for financial reasons, but that has not been confirmed.
Prior to the opening of the St. Jude Midwest affiliate in 1972 at Methodist Hospital, pediatrician Robert Hart was sending children stricken with cancer to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee. Newly diagnosed children in central Illinois may once again opt to go to Memphis, though OSF officials stated they would continue to provide cancer care. The question will be is that care going to be free at OSF, or has that been, or is that as it has been since its founding by entertainer Danny Thomas and repeated locally by Mayor Jim Maloof and Mike McCoy.
Speaking of Mike McCoy, he's on his way right now as we speak to with the local Corvette Club. They're heading to Memphis. They're going to be rolling in tomorrow with, I think he said 165 cars. Is that right?
I think so.
165 cars will arrive tomorrow. When they get there, they're going to have dinner. They'll hand over a big check to the medical staff that'll ensure care and treatment free for children battling cancer.
Talk about cars. Well, two of them collided at the busy intersection of University and Glen yesterday morning around 10. One of the drivers, well, she couldn't get out of her vehicle and had to be freed by Peoria firefighters. She went to a local hospital afterwards. No word on her condition. Newly appointed police chief Brad Dixon told our listeners and viewers Tuesday morning that he is going to focus on drivers who ignore city speed limits. Dixon takes office tomorrow at 1 p.m.
Congratulations to Peoria City Council. Well, they approved another place that's going to sell booze in the city. The vote was close, 6-5 in favor of a liquor license for the King Zone grocery store. It's to be located at 2411 North Knoxville. The children's home's at 2130 North Knoxville. Supporters for King said the owner could not make a profit without making the firewater available for consumers.
Another hot spot in Peoria, Big Al's, is apparently getting ready to reopen. The strip club has been closed, to the delight of many and the disappointment of some, since August of 2024. It's been the site of shootings in 2023 and 24. The new owner says he wants to expand operations to include not only strippers, but entertainers and musicians for concerts. However, it must close every night at 1 a.m.
In other news, the Chinese rolled out the red carpet for President Donald Trump, and a large contingent from the United States. Trump and President Ping have a lot to talk about, from the war with Iran to trade, tariffs, Taiwan, and artificial intelligence. High on the agenda, of course, is the Strait of Hormuz, which is now considered closed to all shipping.
A goof in protocol at a hospital in the Netherlands has resulted in the quarantine of 12 hospital staff members. It all happened with the arrival of one of those passengers on that cruise ship who was diagnosed with hantavirus. Blood and urine from the infected patient was not properly disposed of, and a Dutch official said that despite the fact that the chance of infection is small, the 12 employees will have to go through a preventative quarantine for 6 weeks as a precaution. 3 people have died after contracting the hantavirus. And that's it for news, top of the hour.
I know all three of you have done a lot of traveling. Did any of you get to Amsterdam or Holland or the Netherlands? It's a beautiful country. They have the windmills, but those are beautiful windmills, and known for their tulips, for that matter. Canal Street, very famous, primarily because it had a number of big owls. Places for that.
No,
Wooden shoes.
they had a red light district.
Yeah.
Well, that was what I was kind of alluding to.
But yes, you were.
So you've been
being
there?
played.
The red light
No,
No?
No.
Well, how'd you know that?
my wife wouldn't let me go.
Yeah. Well, I was there. Compliments.
I would love to go to Amsterdam. Historical
beautiful
city. Most of the
yeah.
city is extraordinarily beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you have to have a bicycle to be?
No, but interesting. I drove there from Frankfurt. I had an Opel.
Everybody rides bikes.
Opel family car, 4-door car, but I didn't care. Bought it for $600 and sold it for $600, and so using it over that period of time was absolutely free. But I drove there. And it's amazing the number of people back then, and we're talking about 1957, 58, the number of people who rode bicycles,
And
men,
more-
women,
more
children.
so now
of
even,
all,
yeah.
Like I say, it's a beautiful, and I
There's
went
parts
to,
of the city where cars are banned, and you would have to have
Yeah.
a bicycle to get around, and so that entices people to buy bikes and ride them all the time, I guess.
but I went to Canal Street, and it is, you're exactly right. It's kind of like the Reeperbahn in Hamburg, Germany, which is a blocked off area. Canal Street is not blocked off, but it is, it's a baldy area, no question. But I happen to have the opportunity to visit with some people that I met in Oslo, Norway, and they invited me to come over, and I visited them, had dinner with them one evening. But in addition to Amsterdam, is Rotterdam, and I did get to Rotterdam, and it was ferociously bombed by the Germans and really just leveled. Well, look it up and see if you can't find a statue
With the hole in it.
with a hole in it.
Yeah.
And I asked someone, what's the story on it? And they said, we rebuilt after World War II Rotterdam, but the heart of the city has never been replicated. And so I think it's made out of steel, is it not?
I don't know. I think it is.
It's a huge-
bronze or steel, maybe. Yeah.
And it's a big hole in the center of this figure.
Of a
To-
person? Figure?
It is yes, it's a replica of a huge, I'm going to say metal person with arms and legs and head. Show me a picture of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I've seen it.
It's sort of
And there's a
weird
huge
looking.
hole.
a impressionistic design. of a-
What's
of
that
a-
represent?
They're the people, the country that.
They have holes in 'em?
And it says
Their
that.
soul was taken by
Yes,
the Germans.
by the
Their
Germans.
Oh, okay.
And it's
soul
never
and
been
spirit.
able to-
Yeah.
Did you try on any wooden shoes when you were there?
I bought a pair.
You seriously?
Yeah.
Those
And
could be
I've
worth
had-
money today.
Well, I don't know if I can find them, but I found wearing them cause ingrown toenails.
And
Yeah.
splinters.
Yeah.
Not to mention it's kind of loud, clopping around
Yes,
like
I
a
do.
horse.
Yeah.
Clippity clop.
Yeah.
I think who was the guy that sang that song?
I-
Mule Train by
Frankie Lane.
Frankie Lane, very good. Hey, we have this day in history coming up. In the meantime, let's hear from our friends at WCBU.
From the WCBU newsroom, I'm Ben Howell. A lead fundraiser for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital says his group will continue raising funds for St. Jude after it's split with OSF Healthcare. Mike McCoy, co-founder of St. Jude Runs, says the change could impact medical decisions, but that does not mean care disappears in Central Illinois.
And a lot of hospitals have affiliate relationships with St. Jude. And because there won't be one in Peoria, it doesn't mean that there's not places where people can get treated close by.
OSF's Children's Hospital will no longer be an affiliate of St. Jude Children's Research Hospital starting in July. Congressman Darren LaHood said he favors an approach to dealing with the looming Social Security insolvency that could take at least some of the political gamesmanship out of the difficult issue.
That would be bipartisan, small group of Senate and House members that would meet for 1 year and come up with significant proposals that we would vote up or down on.
Up or down votes make it more difficult for other lawmakers to water down proposals, and they concentrate all the political pain of cuts into a small number of votes. An East Bluff convenience and grocery store is one step closer to being able to sell packaged liquor, but whether or not the business receives a license remains to be seen. The Peoria City Council approved in a 6-5 vote the site application for the King Zone Market on Knoxville Avenue. Alex Carmona has been the biggest advocate for the business.
This will never be a liquor store, not even close. The footprint of the actual liquor is probably 10% of the store.
Mayor Rita Ali will make the ultimate determination in her role as liquor commissioner. Ali was among those voting against approval. Advocates for safer streets are pushing state lawmakers for more bike and trail infrastructure. One measure they support would allow repeat offenders who are caught going 26 miles per hour over the limit to avoid having their license suspended if they have a device installed on their vehicles that prevents them from speeding. Republican State Representative Jennifer Sonalitro of Itasca voted against the plan.
I think I thought the FOP was against it, but I also feel like people are going to speed, they're going to speed. The only time I believe that you should have a device in your car is if you're a drunk driver.
The measure has passed the House. I'm Ben Howell.
Good morning, Gina. Brought to you by Bradley Fans.
And we'll do a little baseball news, and it's finally maybe starting to become time to admit that I'm a White Sox fan, because the White Sox were the only team to win yesterday among our teams of interest. We'll start with the Cubs. They lost their fourth in a row to the Atlanta Braves 4-1. So after their 10-game winning streak, their second 10-game winning streak of the season, the Cubs have now lost their last four, and they've really gone quiet with the bats. Scored only a total of 3 runs in the 4 games combined. The Cubs will play the Braves again tonight at 6:15 to close out that series, and then they have a weekend series on the south side of Chicago against the White Sox starting tomorrow night. St. Louis Cardinals lost in a late game last night in Sacramento to the A's. The Cardinals lost 6-2. They'll play the A's again today at 2:05 p.m., and then they come home to play the Kansas City Royals. The White Sox beat the Royals last night 6-5. Their 4th win in a row. They're 21-21 now, and got back to the 500 mark. They're only, I think, a game and a half out of first place in that American League Central, where there aren't any teams running away with it yet. They play the Royals again today. It's a 6:40 p.m. Game tonight, and then, of course, they have the Cubs hosting them in a series starting tomorrow night. Peoria Chiefs lost to the Beloit Skycarp. They play again tonight at 6:05 p.m. The Chiefs 15-19 on the season. They were playing a little bit better for a while, and now they've hit another little bit of a rough spot and fallen back a bit. Anyway, NBA score last night, the Cleveland Cavaliers beat the Detroit Pistons 117-113, and Cleveland takes a 3-2 lead in that East Conference semifinal series. And then the NHL, the Colorado Avalanche came back from being down 3-0 to beat the Minnesota Wild 4-3 in overtime in Game 5 of their Western Conference semifinal series, and they win that series 4-1. They'll advance to play the winner of the Las Vegas Golden Knight Anaheim Duck series, which is still continuing. The golf news today, the first major tournament of 2026, the 108th PGA Championship is teeing off this morning at Aeron Golf Club in Newtown.
Where's that?
It's Aronimink.
Okay.
I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's just west of Philadelphia. They have the tournament there this year. It's the second time they've hosted it there. Last time was in the 1950s or somewhere way back. The last year's winner, Scotty Scheffler, is the favorite this year at about a 5-1 odds. So we'll have more to report on that tomorrow after the first round. And the Preakness, the 151st edition of the Preakness, is Saturday. This year it's at Laurel Park in Laurel, Maryland, down the road from Baltimore, because the Pimlico race course, where it's been held for the last 150 years, is undergoing renovation and won't be open until next year for the 2027 Preakness. So we talked about that a little bit. The Kentucky Derby winner Golden Tempo not racing, and the 14 horses in the race. The favorite is Iron Honor at 9-2 presently. And so we'll have a little bit more about that tomorrow. That's it for sports.
You know, you get outside of Philadelphia and some of the larger cities. Pennsylvania is a beautiful state.
Even New York, I think the people who live in New York City have no idea how beautiful it is if you get 50 miles outside of New York.
Yeah.
Upstate New York, we toured that area, went to Cooperstown.
Did you go to Cooperstown?
Yeah, visited Cooperstown.
It's
It's in these rolling valleys, all these little lakes, the Finger Lake areas.
Mountains, they've got beautiful mountains.
Beautiful mountains, the Adirondacks and the Catskills, a little bit more down into Pennsylvania, but we were up in the Adirondacks. It was just, it was gorgeous, unbelievably
One of the
beautiful.
best restaurants I ever ate was a Amish restaurant in the hills of Pennsylvania, and they served things family style, and the desserts, the pies and the cakes. I mean, they were to die
Shoe
for.
fly pie.
Yeah, shoe fly pie. You got it. I wanted to let you know that we're keeping track of the Corvette convoy going to Memphis. Here's the Mike McCoy.
Clean clear to Flagtown, come on. Oh yeah, that's a big 10-4 there, Big Penny. Yeah, we definitely got the front door good, buddy. Mercy sakes alive, looks like we got us a convoy.
You remember those days when we had CB radios, and that was the way that we let other motorists know Smokey was down the road a little bit, and you could talk, find out from the truckers what are the best places to eat when you were on the interstate. It actually was fun. Do these drivers still have CB radios, or how they communicate?
Oh yeah, they still do. Pretty much just truck drivers now. I remember when every passenger car driver used to get a CB radio, because that's how you could tell where Smokey was, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you remember the guy who had the business up there in the Heights, made $1 million after a couple of years selling CB radios. Yeah. Warren Putnam.
Yeah, I do remember that
radio.
name, yeah. I had one installed, and I don't remember who did it. Maybe he was the one that did it, but that was a common practice, that if you didn't have a CB radio, you weren't with it.
Right. What was you remember your handle?
I think mine was Jolly Roger.
Jolly Roger.
Yeah.
Do you remember yours, Gene?
I don't.
Dr. Basketball, Dr. Bradley at NBC.
No. That was really before I was a doctor, I think, when those were popular.
Yeah.
Well, the mid-'70s or so, I guess, is when I had my CB radio. But no, I don't remember that I had a handle. I think I mostly just listened to people giving reports on traffic.
Yeah, you just heard a report on WCBU, apparently about putting governors in cars. Did I hear right? So that you couldn't go over a certain speed, so you didn't break the speed limit. But what if you're on Interstate 74? The speed limit is 70 miles an hour, and or you're traveling in a state where it's 55 miles an hour.
The other issue that is being debated, because some people have brought it up in one of the states, is these shut-off circuits, that if they use an AI type program to recognize if you're agitated or acting unusual, and that translates into maybe you're on drugs or you're impaired somehow with alcohol, and so it will shut your car down.
If you're agitated?
Yes.
Boy,
If your
I'll tell
wife
you
goes
what.
with you, it's going to shut the car down.
Yeah. Well, I'm in trouble as soon as you mentioned North Valley.
That would have done it. That would have
Roger,
shut
take
your
us to
car
the
down.
It
North
would have
Valley.
shut me down quicker, and you could say Butterfingers. That's
No, I didn't.
crazy.
I've had my car pop up, and it was really weird. But I drove from maybe Ward Drive and Knoxville to maybe just over by ICC, and it pops up. Time to take a break. Stop and have a cup of coffee.
Yeah, I've rented
I haven't
cars
driven
that do
that far.
Yeah.
I have. Yeah, a couple of my rentals have done that.
Yeah. We have a guy on the line who knows about driving on the highways
Yeah?
and the interstate, and that's Dick Hawley. Good morning, Dick. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing great.
Yeah. What do you
Yeah,
think?
I think it's an idiotic idea.
Yeah.
Well, tell me how you really feel.
You can be going down the interstate, and there's a road right beside you, a frontage road with a speed limit 45, and your GPS kicks over to 45 miles an hour. Now, is that just going to slam your brakes on at 70 miles an hour?
Well, good question.
Yeah.
And we have an answer for it. Do you have a governor on Peoria Charter Coach?
Yeah, most of them are set at 68 for cruise and 70 for pedal.
Okay.
You have to pedal those things?
Why do you think my legs are in such good shape?
Yeah, exactly right. Hey, you traveled and with the Bradley women's basketball team, and I'm sure had a good relationship with Coach Popovich. Did you find it a little discomforting or irritating that she took with her to Boston College one of Bradley's, if not the best, one of the best women's basketball players?
Who did she take?
Tell him who the player was that Coach Popovich.
Oh, the gal from the recruit, the incoming recruit from Wisconsin, Davis. I can't think of her first name, but a pretty good player out of a high school in Wisconsin. Has just
That's
committed.
Bradley's fault.
Yeah, well,
That's Bradley's fault. That's Bradley's fault she even left because they would not negotiate her contract.
Oh, you're talking about Popovic now, yeah.
Yeah. So
Well,
whatever happens after that, it's still Bradley's fault. She'd still be there.
yeah, Boston College is an ACC school, BCS. ACC. They've got big time football. They got money. Let me put it that way. And I don't think Bradley could have matched whatever they were offering. I mean, we're
She
talking about
wasn't looking.
big conference.
She wasn't looking to move. She was looking to negotiate her contract, and they wouldn't do it. So she had to find something else.
Well, we've uncovered a dispute here, and we're going to get more news later in the day at BradleyFans.com. Back to the original subject matter, Dick, is governors on cars and buses, and do they have them on trucks? Apparently they don't, because I've seen lately state troopers having semis off to the side.
Well, yeah, but you can set the governor wherever you want it.
Oh, you can.
Hey, Dick,
Yeah, it's just,
did you, by chance, did you drive, I guess it was yesterday, a group from Bloomington down to St. Louis?
no, I drove a group someplace else. Where did I go yesterday? I went to Science and Industry.
Oh, you went to Chicago.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder, I've driven in Chicago. I wouldn't drive there today, but I always wondered, as difficult as it is to drive a car in the Chicago area, how did you handle driving? What's the length of the new charter buses at Peoria?
45 feet.
How did you manage in such a congested downtown area like Chicago?
It's easier.
They get special parking, I think. They get to park up front.
You're up above, and you can see what's going on.
Okay.
I'd rather drive a bus in Chicago than a car.
Do you have the sonar little units that tell you if you're getting close to something when you're backing up?
No, but we do have backup cameras.
And you do hear the sound of crunching metal.
Yeah, you could hear that
You can
from
hear
the front, yeah.
Do you, when you go to the science and industry, they do have special places for buses, do they not, to park?
In the past, they do, and this year we got there, and there's a barricade across.
So what did you
So I
do?
we went up to the Field Museum and pulled in and got our Chicago dogs at the little trailer there in the parking lot, and then there's a parking lot on 18th Street right across from that. So we parked over there.
Yeah. Do Chicago police pretty well cooperate to accommodate drivers like you, Dick, or do they treat everybody the same?
If there's a no parking sign, we usually just park there, and they leave us alone because they know we bring business to the city.
Okay. Well, that's that's good thinking on their part. That's for sure. You've been doing this for how long now? And what's your favorite stop or location or destination?
Oh, I just love driving the Bradley women. That's my favorite thing to do.
Are they fun to be around? Do they joke a lot on the bus, or are they busy on their cell phones or their laptops?
Well, the motor coaches anymore are, I don't know, the way they're designed, you really can't hear stuff at the back from the front.
Okay.
Can you drink on the bus?
No.
No?
No. Not
him, not the driver. But no, I mean the passengers.
Well, if you bring your own, yeah, sure.
This program sounds awfully dumb.
Yeah.
You have to pay a fee up front.
Oh, you do?
But you don't if
And
you're
sign
in
a
the back.
waiver.
Okay. And who gets that fee? You get that fee?
No,
Okay.
company.
All right. See, I thought you could drink on a bus.
Have you ever taken a group down to the little theater on the square in Sullivan, Illinois?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. Do you remember some of the
Couple of
stars that
times.
were appearing?
No, it was a Christmas show.
Oh.
Santa was one of the stars.
All right. Well, anything else you want to contribute for the good of the program this morning? Lord knows we need help.
Oh, for the good of the program. I don't know if I know how to do that.
That makes it unanimous. Always great to hear from you and your agent, Carolyn. Have a great day. And I would encourage the two of you, because I know you're the lover of music and fine arts. Today's the final day for the arts and education in downtown Peoria, and they're going to have 250 students forming an orchestra, and that sounds going to have to be outstanding. Can't wait to hear it.
Actually, today is our 60th wedding anniversary.
Well, congratulations.
Oh, that's nice.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Yes.
Got married when you were 12, or what?
You got that right.
Thanks, Carolyn. I heard that. Well, congratulations.
What do you need, big plans?
Fish house for lobster.
Oh, there you go.
That's
That's a good idea.
Well, have a good time and send the bill to Terry Grawey.
No, wait, hold on. I don't.
I'm not saying he's going to pay it, but send it anyway. For that matter. Well, happy anniversary.
Thank you.
And thank you both. Dick and Carolyn, Holly, always great to talk to them. Hey, let's wrap our news up with a quick check of the headlines. And the news at the bottom of the hour brought to you by Spoon River Home Health. They've been providing quality care for people in their Central Illinois homes now for over 30 years. Their professional and compassionate staff of nurses, therapists, and home care assistants available to care for your loved one safely and comfortably today. You can get more information on Spoon River at 309-245-0723. Here's Mike.
Thank you, Roger. Community criticism of OSF healthcare continues after they announced the termination of St. Jude Clinic, effective at the end of the month. Sources report the decision came with little advance notice, especially to the St. Jude families receiving treatment in Peoria. OSF allegedly violated their contract with St. Jude and could face litigation from St. Jude. A local TV station incorrectly reported the St. Jude Clinic would be working independently. However, there will not be a Peoria clinic since the staff of doctors and nurses are employees of OSF. The news is discomforting as St. Jude Clinic, the first affiliate of the Memphis Hospital, has been a part of Peoria for over 50 years. Reportedly, the termination of St. Jude's medical facility was made for financial reasons, but that has not been confirmed. Prior to the opening of St. Jude's Midwest affiliate in 1972 at Methodist Hospital, pediatrician Dr. Robert Hart was sending children stricken with cancer to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee. Newly diagnosed children in central Illinois may once again opt to go to Memphis, though OSF officials stated they would continue to provide cancer care. The question is, will that care be free at OSF, as it has been since its founding by Danny Thomas and repeated locally by Mayor Jim Maloof and Mike McCoy. Speaking of Mike McCoy, he informs us the fundraising to support the work of St. Jude continues. He'll be driving this morning as the local Corvette Club holds its annual drive to Memphis, leaving from Uftring's dealership in Washington. Once in Memphis, the drivers will visit the St. Jude Hospital. Talking about cars, two of them collided at the intersection of University and Glen yesterday morning around 10. One of the drivers couldn't get out of her vehicle and had to be freed by Peoria firefighters. Newly appointed Police Chief Brad Dixon told our listeners Tuesday morning he's going to focus on drivers who ignore city speed limits. Dixon takes office tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. Peoria City Council approved another place to sell booze in the city. The vote was close, 6-5 in favor of a liquor license for the King's Zone grocery located at 2411 North Knoxville. The children's home is at 2130 North Knoxville. Supporters for King's said the owner could not make a profit without making liquor available for consumers. Another hot spot in Peoria, Big Al's, is getting ready to reopen. The strip club has been closed since August of 2024. It's been the site of shootings in 2023 and 24. The new owner says he wants to expand operations to include not only strippers, but entertainers and musicians for concerts. In other news, the Chinese rolled out the red carpet for President Donald Trump and a large contingent from the United States. Trump and President Xi Jinping have a lot to talk about, from the war with Iran, to trade, to tariffs, to Taiwan, and artificial intelligence. High on the agenda is the Strait of Hormuz, which is now considered closed to all shipping. A mistaken protocol at a hospital in the Netherlands has resulted in the quarantine of 12 hospital staff members. It all happened with the arrival of one of the passengers of that cruise ship who was diagnosed with hantavirus. Blood and urine from that infected patient was not properly disposed of. A Dutch official said that despite the chance of infection being small, the 12 employees will go into preventative quarantine for 6 weeks as a precaution. 3 people have died after contracting the virus. And today is the last day of the Arts and Education program featuring students from 5 county schools. And it ends with what they call Peace Day. The highlight is the performance of 250 student musicians gathered as a full orchestra in what will be a sensational celebration of the country's 250th anniversary. The students will be performing between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. at the rear plazas of the Riverfront Museum and the Caterpillar Visitors Center. Plenty of free parking with lots of food vendors on hand. Congratulations to our own Dave Poles, who is once again chairman of this spectacular event. And Roger, that's it for news at the bottom of the hour.
And Dave, for the past, 3 or 4 weeks, ever since it started, it's given us every Wednesday an in-depth view of what's going on and the programs and the students in the schools and the counties for that matter. Well, we continue with a check of the weather brought to you by Mr. Weather, Kyle Varno. Kyle providing personal and business insurance for auto, home, life, and health. You know, he works with a variety, multiple companies in the insurance industry to find the right policy at the right price for individuals, families, and businesses. And you can call him right now. He's available at 309-682-0519, 682-0519. Also available to give you the weather, here's Terry Grawey.
Sunny and pleasant today, Roger, high 74, and then starts to get wet. Tonight, increasing clouds after midnight, low 55. Tomorrow, showers and thunderstorms, a gradual clearing, a high about 79. More showers late tomorrow night. Maybe some showers on Saturday, high 85. Right now, it's 54 at the Wazoo.
And a pleasant day. It's going to be absolutely a gorgeous day to go downtown and watch the kids, listen to the kids for that matter. You know, we are covering the story about those employees, 12 employees in a hospital in Dutchland in the Netherlands going into purgatory, you might say, medical purgatory for 6 weeks up there. I have a question for you, Dr. Sidler. You've been in the practice of medicine for umpteen years, and you had your solo practice in Morton for many years. How did you and your staff stay healthy? Because you had all kinds of patients coming in with all kinds of problems, medical problems, including infectious disease and so forth. And did your staff develop a certain degree of immunity,
they're immune to
or were they
cancer.
sick all the time? I mean, you were exposed to everything. How did you stay healthy? Vitamin C.
Everybody that worked with me, and myself included, I don't remember ever getting sick, and I don't remember any of my staff ever getting sick and calling in sick. Maybe some of it is just, as you say, that you build up a stronger immune system by being exposed in mild ways to a lot of viruses and bacteria. But, you know, our exposure is limited to just a few minutes at a time, maybe 10 minutes at a time in a room with a patient. And most of the patients you see aren't sick with infectious diseases. The ones that are, you realize that they could have something infectious, and you take a little bit more precaution about exposure to them. But
Is that why doctors didn't spend much time with patients in the hospital? You're sick, and I don't want to be around you. Have a good day.
Well, you wear gloves, and if a person is isolated with a disease like this hantavirus thing, they would be in a special isolation unit, and you would have to mask up and gown up, and gloves and
shoes and
maybe shoe covers as well. Yeah. So there's some ways of protecting yourself. There are still risks, and ICU nurses do have a higher instance of catching nasty things.
Was it the same for your wife? Your wife was a nurse, right?
She was a nurse for
and
a
was
couple
she
years.
healthy for most?
Oh, yeah.
My wife
all
was
all my
nurse.
nurses have.
Your wife is a nurse?
Yeah, and she was always very healthy, but she worked in intensive care pediatrics, and I knew when she had a patient that had diarrhea. For about 6-8 months, I knew that story. Now, I think I'm finally, but yeah.
Well, I hope so.
There were stains on her uniform?
Nope,
No?
Nope, I was busy. She'd bring it home or something.
You get out of the
That went
way
on
of the
for
entrance
6 months.
to the
I
bathroom.
will tell you, the healthiest years of my life were the 25 years I worked at Methodist.
Yeah.
And
I think
and
you're
I was all
exposed
over
to-
the hospital, and up and down the hallways. I'm not saying I went there to go,
Well, no, you
smell
don't try
and
to.
so forth,
Yeah.
but I never even thought about it. So I do believe that when you work in that kind of an environment, that you develop a certain level of immunity. And like you said, I buy the theory. I guess it's a theory that you have, that you get exposed a little bit. It's almost like getting a vaccine. Speaking of vaccines, have any of you watched the Senate committee meeting of the
whistleblower?
Homeland Security with the whistleblower? Let me tell you something,
It's
ladies
hard
and
to
gentlemen.
find it because it's nowhere in
They're
any
not
media.
covering it.
And it wasn't on any
This
TV
is
networks
a
except
major
Fox.
cover-up by the administration of President Biden, particularly Mickey Mouse, Dr. Fauci.
yeah.
They covered up the fact that this vaccine could cause heart attacks, strokes, cardiac arrhythmias. According to the whistleblower, the evidence about the dangers of taking this vaccine was covered up by Dr. Fauci and his staff.
And
According
some
to
of
this
the emails that have been
whistleblower,
released
who
already
knows
suggest
because he
that.
worked for the CIA.
I don't, and I don't doubt that. And I'm just going to play devil's advocate
Okay.
for just a second. If you read almost any medication, the precautions and what can happen, you'd never take anything. I mean,
Right.
on
Well,
an aspirin bottle, you look at it and you go,
yeah.
"Gee, I don't know if I really want to take this or
No,
not."
I agree.
So there is that, I think, in medicine, isn't there, doctor? I mean,
But for
they
the
have to do
COVID
these
but
tests,
the
and if
problem-
one in a million people die,
Yeah.
they got to put might
But
die.
Terry, the problem with the COVID vaccine is there were no clinical
Oh,
trials.
no, I think it's a little bit different with the COVID thing. That thing
Yeah.
was
And
not
some of the
handled well.
people in the highest levels of the CDC, who was that woman that wore the scarves all the time? I don't
Oh,
remember.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
Burks was her name.
Something, yeah.
And Fauci of the
I
NIAID.
think it was Katharine Hepburn.
They kept telling us it was safe, that there
Yeah.
were no side effects, that it was 100%
Right.
effective. You get the shot, you won't get disease. You
Right.
won't spread it. None of that was true.
Yeah, that was terrible.
And they knew it,
Yeah.
but they did it anyway. This House committee that interrogated, was a House or Senate?
No, it was the Senate committee.
Senate
because
committee.
Not a single Democrat is attending the hearing.
There were like 7 Democrats on the committee, and not a single one even showed up to this this meeting. They're downplaying this. It's just a big nothing. It's all political. You remember there were whistleblowers back in the previous Trump administration. They impeached him over what one whistleblower thought he heard on a phone call.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Was that to
Not fair.
Ukraine, wasn't it? Yeah, it was to Ukraine. the phone
Yeah, that was
call.
the call to the
I mean,
Ukrainian.
yeah, this whole thing, I think ultimately stems from the idea that we have insulated drug manufacturers from any liability for vaccine
Yes.
injuries. And, rather, and if you look at it, vaccines create an income flow. I mean, it's printing money for these companies because, nobody wants to get sick, and these are supposedly all magic bullets that are going to keep us from getting sick. And at one time, as a child, we got vaccines. I mean, if you were in the military, you got shitloads of vaccines, but it was primarily mumps, measles, rubella, whooping cough, and polio, smallpox. And I mean, there were 5 or 6.
That might have been done by the time you were in there. But
No, I got smallpox
Did you
when
get
I was in the
smallpox?
service. Yeah, I mean, but that was it. Now, I mean, you've got HPV, you've got Japanese encephalitis, you've got
hepatitis A, hepatitis B.
yeah. I mean, you're a pincushion, and the question is, how many of these were really even on our radar when we were? I mean, polio. I mean, you can't get around that. Polio was something that was a scourge in before the 40s and 50s, and Jonas Salk came up with this miracle. I mean, smallpox, the way they came up with the smallpox vaccine was absolutely crude because they realized, well, gee, who's not getting smallpox? It's these young women that are milkmaids. Why is that? Well, they got something called milk pox, which was a relatively benign disease that actually happened to trigger your immune system with a response that would inculcate you from smallpox.
Cross immunity.
Yeah. So, you know, what started out as a great idea, you know, drug companies have taken, hey, if a little is good, a lot more must be really great. And we've fallen, you know, victim to that idea that let's immunize ourselves against everything. And maybe it's just too much.
How much inoculation does an infant go through now, doctor? How many?
It depends by state, but it's usually over 80 vaccines before they reach high school.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I mean, one of my sisters was real big on not having her kids vaccinated for anything. And, you know, I thought, geez, you're right on the edge of being a crackpot here. I know. And I tell you what, you know, every day I'm closer and closer to seeing that is a wise decision.
Well, you know, they denied that there was any evidence of it coming from the lab,
Right.
the lab leak theory. It
Right.
was totally poo-pooed under oath by people who knew that that was not the case. And now we know through emails and things that have been released that they not only knew that it probably was
covered it
released,
up.
they funded it.
Yeah.
They funded it through that Eco Health Alliance NGO organization with hundreds
and
of thousands
Dr.
of
Fauci,
dollars.
I think, had a financial
Gain of function.
interest in
Because
it.
we have to do gain of function research, because if we don't do it, someone else is going to be doing it, and it's going to be curtains for us.
You know, yes, you have a new pair of glasses on today, don't you?
Well, these are just my readers.
Yeah. You look very intelligent.
The looks can be deceiving.
Speaking of,
Things are a lot closer than they appear in the mirror.
Speaking of intelligence, we have a very intelligent listener on the line. Good morning.
Good morning, Roger. And
Oh, it's
friends.
Kyle
This is
Arnold.
Oh,
one of the nicest introductions you've ever given me.
yeah.
Yes. Well, there's more coming.
Usually, like, speaking of pumpkins or speaking
No.
of blowhards or something like that.
I've never said pumpkin.
Today,
It was
it's like
watermelon.
Watermelons, whatever segue King James really.
So what's going on?
And good morning. Well, what's going on? Another
looks
great
wet.
day. High press. Looks wet?
It looks
Where?
wet.
Where it looks wet?
Are we going to have tornadoes Saturday or Sunday?
No.
Okay.
But where does it look wet? It's not wet out. What's
No,
it
no, 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 no.
Hang
I
on.
mean, no, for the future in the forecast here, after midnight, maybe some showers. Tomorrow, showers and thunderstorms. Late tomorrow night.
Yes, no.
No?
Yeah, we alluded to it on Monday's program, that we're looking at storm chances moving back in on Friday. Right now, the severe threat looks to stay to the south of us. I think, you know, if you take down south of Lincoln, Springfield, Carlinville, St. Louis, that area, I think we'll see the stronger storms. But I do expect thunderstorms in the overnight hours. But as for today, I mean, another gorgeous day with this picture-perfect, spectacular spring week as high pressure continues to be domination. We're looking at a warm-up here over the next couple of days and certainly through the weekend. Highs, you know, today, and again, a gorgeous day. What's your high say? What does Roger have?
74.
74 is about right. 75 is what I'm thinking. But yeah, no, absolutely. And then Roger, when I was running this morning, I heard you talk about it was cooler this morning. You noticed it was cooler this morning. That was a very good observation on your part, because we did have radiational cooling overnight with the clear skies overnight. So
There you go, Roger. That's two in a row.
Yep, keep dinging that bell, sir. So good job there. So yeah. If only you knew Canal Street wasn't a whorehouse street, then you'd be getting 3 bells in a row, but it's okay. Anyway,
What?
back to well, we said Canal Street in Amsterdam was like a whorehouse or something, like prostitution. I'm like, what is he talking about? Canal Street's nowhere near the red light district.
No, Canal Street runs
Canal
into
Street.
the red light district.
Well, it runs into the
Yes.
whorehouse.
Near the canal, it's
Please
not.
don't argue with me there, my friend. I was there.
I will argue.
He was there.
I was there, and
Talking
I
first-hand experience here.
actually talked to one of the women.
Yeah. Well, he was negotiating price, but you could call that talk. Yeah.
You know, they were, and I will tell you, Kyle, because you don't know what you're talking about.
American money, Roger?
That they were at windows, and you went up. The clients would go up and talk to the prostitutes. It was
negotiate price, I think is what the talk was about.
I don't know. I just said. I said to the woman I talked to, what's the weather like?
Yes, about the weather.
I'm sure you asked her about the weather.
Yes.
And how wet the forecast was going to be.
Yes.
Listen, I will tell you with great pride, I was a good boy. I was a good Christian boy in the military.
Good for you. That's good. That's
I'm
good.
very proud.
Did they prefer American money, or did they prefer the German money?
I did not talk to her. You know, to tell you the truth,
that's right, because you talked about the weather.
I won't do it today, but I actually talked to a young girl in Hamburg, Germany, and I hope my remarks to her changed her way of life.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Well, that sounds like a nice story.
Great. That was a good story. She's still around? Can we get her on the program?
What was that? No, she's probably deceased by now, and I'm close to it. You know, that was back in 1957 and 58, so we go back a long time.
Yeah, but if she's around your age, they have a longer life expectancy in Europe. So
no,
not 92, Kyle. Not 92.
No, she was honestly, she was around my age, very too young to be doing what she was doing, and I told her that.
Oh, got it. Good man.
So tomorrow, showers and thunderstorms?
In the forecast?
Yeah. Where else? It's tomorrow, showers and thunderstorms.
No, I don't believe that.
No showers at all late tomorrow night?
Late tomorrow night, maybe. I think most of the storm activity stays to the west of us. We'll see them in the overnight hours. Oh, here we go. We're talking about tonight and overnight. This is like a repeat of 2 weeks ago. So after midnight, I think maybe you'll have...
Are we going to be
thunderstorms.
Sunny tomorrow or cloudy, or what's it going to be?
Oh, we're going to have sunshine. It's going to be another gorgeous
so tomorrow's
day.
another nice day? Okay, great.
Yeah, so we'll have cloudy skies early with that system passing to the south of us, those storms passing to the south of us.
All right.
But you'll notice the humidity tick up. In particular, after those storms in the morning, probably, again, stay south of us for the most part. You'll notice that's why the temperatures start to rise, so we'll be in the upper 70s tomorrow, probably about 77, 78. But you notice the winds out of the south bringing in that humidity, bringing in that moisture, and essentially what it's going to do is, as far as I see it, it's going to put a cap on the atmosphere. So we talked about the capped atmosphere. That way you can't get storms to develop. So there'll be a lot of wind shear to the west of us, and there'll be a lot of energy over us. But because of the humidity, it's going to actually essentially put a cap on the atmosphere that'll prevent any type of severe thunderstorms tomorrow evening, tomorrow night. Now, in the overnight hours, we will get those decaying thunderstorms coming out of Iowa and Missouri in the early morning hours, Saturday morning. But again, I think most of the deep layer shear, most of the unstable air stays to the south.
All right. What about Saturday?
Oh, that's what I was talking about, was Saturday. I'm sorry. So I went Friday and Saturday, but I'll recap. So Saturday, we'll be in the low 80s. We'll see thunderstorms early in the morning hours. So a bit more clouds than sun in the morning.
Right.
And then we'll see sunshine in the mid part of the day, and then clouds move in later in the day as our next system moves in. And again, there is wind shear, a lot more wind shear on Saturday than what we were looking at on Friday for us, and a lot more instability. But as far as severe thunderstorms go, the thunderstorm activity, again, I think it stays just to the west of us. I really don't see the wet forecast that you're alluding to in your forecast.
All right. Well, we'll go with yours.
But
yeah. And I want to remind everybody, this is live. There are stations that are recording weather, but this guy is live. It's about as live as you can get.
Yeah.
Oh, you're very kind. You're very kind.
And you love what you do.
I'm not ranting as long as you don't ask me about St. Jude. I'm being very cordial and polite, and so.
Would you like to participate in This Day in History, Kyle?
Oh, you guys are doing the same history? I didn't miss it. Oh, praise God.
No. If you keep talking, we will. But but if you would like to.
All right. On this day in history, May 14th, 1973, something momentous took place.
May of 73.
It's not that
And
long
so what you have to do is pick the category.
Sports?
And then, no, that's not sports.
Auto racing.
No,
World related?
Politics.
no. What did you say, Kyle?
Is it world related? Is it like planetary? Is it
Yes,
global?
yes, planetary. Thank you.
Oh, okay. So this is aerospace, probably.
Was it a manned flight of some kind?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, let's
Was
see.
it the final
Well,
Apollo?
no. This one was not.
Is it an alien thing? That's big now.
This one was not with people.
Oh.
It wasn't. Okay, so it wasn't a rocket or anything of the
Well,
sort?
yes.
Was
yes.
it a satellite?
Yes.
Oh, that's
Was it
Telstar.
Skylab.
Mariner?
What?
No.
No. Kyle, I think had it. What'd you call it?
It's Skylab.
That is
It was
exactly
the
right.
Skylab
There you go.
started.
Skylab, America's first
Yep.
space
The next
station,
space station.
was
Yep.
launched into orbit, and 11 days later, in the first manned mission to the station, can you name the astronauts who made a rendezvous with Skylab? And if you get any one of the three, it'll be amazing.
White.
No,
Michael Collins, one of them?
no.
Shara?
Jim Lovell?
Charles,
De Gaulle?
no.
Gaulle.
Jeff Bezos.
Charles Conrad, Joseph, last name starts with
Carpenter.
K,
Oh.
Gehrig.
Kerwin, and Paul Weitz were among them.
Okay.
And the mission came 2 years after the Soviet Union launched the world's first space station. You remember what it was named, the Russian space station?
Soyuz?
You're close to it.
It starts with a U, I think.
Salyut. Salyut.
Oh, no, mind, I don't know that.
Yeah. And it was ill-fated, plagued with problems. However, the space station for the United States was a great success. Now, here's what's interesting. According to the narrative, it said the crews of Skylab spent more than 700 hours observing the sun and brought home more than 175,000 solar pictures. That's when it became manned. With the three U.S. astronauts. But initially, it was all by itself in the world. Now, when did the parts of the space station that did not burn up in the atmosphere came crashing down, and
fell
where
back
did
to
it
Earth.
crash down? What
In
country?
the Indian Ocean. It was somewhere in the
It was
near
in the water, I
Australia or
think.
something, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
Australia's right. You're right, the Indian Ocean.
There you go.
What year was it? The
19
Skylab was launched 1973.
But it was much later.
Yeah.
Was it after 2000?
No, it wasn't much. No, it wasn't much later. It was
Bless
only
you,
like 5
my
years,
son.
or 5 or 6 years, I think.
Yeah.
It was a short-lived.
Yeah,
Because it was
1979.
atmospheric issue.
Okay. 6 years
79,
later.
Okay, very
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Good, Kyle.
No, I'm a big space weather geek, obviously. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I've heard people say you're out of this world.
So all this, there's a lot of talk to releasing supposedly a lot of alien stuff.
Before we leave, Doctor, do you have anything for Mike Dentino? He's been sneezing,
Yeah.
wheezing, coughing, gagging. The poor
I've
guy.
got that too.
You give it
I'm better right now because I
Okay.
use my nose spray, but
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to start
tree
using
pollens
them.
are near like all-time highs this spring right now, and
Yeah.
people who have allergies are suffering. And
Really?
I have lots of nasal congestion,
I
running.
thought you weren't supposed to use nasal sprays.
Well, if you use them for a few days, they are.
It's-
Which one
Yeah.
do you use? Afrin?
I use Afrin.
Yeah,
it works great.
A Claritin
But
every
you just
day.
use
Are
it
they
for 2 or 3
sponsors,
days,
Roger? by the way?
maybe, and then get off of it. And
I
then there's the
can't keep
steroid
up with
ones.
them.
Those
Yeah.
We have
stay on longer, but you're not supposed to stay on them forever.
I'm suffering very much.
I hope it is just allergy. We don't want to catch it.
Yeah, it's just...
I think I might have hantavirus.
Hey, what's the story now
Actually, what?
when you go to get stuff like Claritin and so forth? You have to
The
take a
active
blood
person.
test, or
No.
there's
Because
so
some
many
forms of it
ways.
have pseudoephedrine or some of those
Oh, got it.
and those people
Making
used
meth.
to buy by the shopping cart load full and cook it into methamphetamine.
Oh, really?
So yes, now you are limited to a 30-day supply, and you have to keep it behind a counter. State of Illinois.
That's right. Because it's.
I don't keep it behind the counter.
No,
I
the
keep
guy's
it
selling
in
it.
the
No,
The guy's selling
a
it.
store.
Not you.
Okay. I thought maybe I had to keep it behind the kitchen
Yeah,
counter.
you do. You can't put it
Well,
in the
you never
bathtub.
know. The dang government
Can't.
has all kinds of rules. Keep the Claritin behind the kitchen counter.
You can't put it in the bathtub.
And it's
Don't
not
make
the
meth.
Claritin. Again, it's that second component that's only in some of them. If it's got the Claritin D after,
Okay.
you know, that's the stuff that
D
they're-
for dumb.
That's the good
Deacon
stuff.
drugs,
Yeah.
D for
Hey, we're
drugs.
out of here. Have a great day, everybody.
breathing.
Thanks, Kyle, for the great forecast. Remember, God loves you, and so do we. So long, everybody. Bye, Kyle. Oh, he hung up on me. How dare he do that?